Welcome back, everyone, to Session 1 of Pandemonium, our new Pathfinder 2E campaign. Today, we're going to be kicking it off and getting into the meat of it. Hopefully, you got a chance to check out our Session 0. We got to meet the characters, but if not, we'll give you a little bit of a refresher as we dive in. Let's set the stage a little bit for this campaign. This is set in the world of Kazia, a world that has just gone off near 1,000 years of relative peace, where the great nations decided to avoid war and prosperity somewhat reigned. Innovation came through, technology increased, the magical studies were made more available to those even of more common backgrounds. But peace can't last, and pandemonium has begun to reign. The nations have started to begin their trek to war, and probably the one that's on the fastest path is the Empire of Ateria. The Empire has recently lost its emperor, the Eternal Emperor Ateria, who typically, after his death, is reincarnated, but 2 months have passed and nobody has been able to find any trace of him, leading his nation to begin to split itself in two. With the loyalist trying to follow his ideals and kind of the new guidelines he set forth for the empire, and the Imperials deciding to go bring the empire back to its roots, trying to hunt down those who they feel may have taken their empire from them or their emperor from them, and beginning to bang the drums of war and start to head into a conflict. But our group, they're members of the Arbiters, people that are sent to keep balance around the world, followers of the god Mott. They've striven to kind of keep the balance and decided, almost on their own, we'll say, to make their way to Ateria, avoiding the mission they were initially assigned by the High Arbiters because they felt the calling to try to find and bring peace to the people of the Great Empire. And with that, the crew, you said, have come into it. It's your very bright sunny day. It's the 22nd of Haven, so kind of in spring, but it's very warm, especially as you guys, the closer you guys march along the Soldiers Pass, kind of leaving from Thessanon, heading closer to the Empire, the warmer it gets, and especially as you guys near the Gate of War, you can see some of the air gets kind of a more arid tinge. The sun gets a little bit brighter, a little bit more dusty, as even with kind of the sun and sand start to kind of flow over from the Atarian side of the border. You just kind of start to feel the heat and with each weight of your step. With the Soldiers Pass, you guys it's a pretty well-traveled area. It's the connection between Codinia, Ateria, and used to be Scenaria. And it's just traveled by merchants, travelers. You've seen a surprising amount of weapon forgers, blacksmiths, weapon salesmen all on the path as the Empire kind of careens towards civil war. But you all, it's a pretty safe pass. You guys are able to kind of march and make your way there. You start to see the gates of war in the distance. Along with you, kind of marching initially pretty solemnly or sullenly, we'll say. You've got the little kobold, Beshnit, who's carrying a lot of probably your gear, camping stuff, just some of the things you may not want to carry yourself. And he's been pretty much grumbling this whole way after you guys refused your initial mission, just kind of like, can't listen to the High Arbiter, can't listen to nobody. But we gotta march this way, march that way. Just kind of just grumbling. I'm like, if you asked him what he was saying, he'd just be like, oh, I didn't say anything. Just as he kind of continues to complain and blather along as you go. But as you can see, the gates of Senzo, the gates of war, you do see kind of his snout almost finding a smile as he sees the gates to his homeland. You see soldiers at the gates kind of manning it, kind of checking people's credentials, letting them through. But you see kind of a long train of merchants as well as just other travelers trying to make their way into the Empire. Before we go into what you guys do, let's give everybody a refresher of what you all look like. So who would like to go first and introduce their PC again?
Elric will go ahead. So Belric is a Dwarven Ranger and a Beastmaster. He is short, as most dwarves are, with a burly beard. He's relatively young, and alongside him is a young and small black bear.
Name Bear, if I remember right?
Yeah, dubbed Bear for now.
Dubbed Bear. All right. And Belric, as you're kind of marching along the soldiers' pass, where are you kind of with the group? Are you guys kind of like all marching in formation? Are you near the front, near the back? Kind of how are you going?
I would assume Belric would be a little bit towards the back alongside his bear. He's probably not, I would say, like the face of the group and not someone who would want to be the first person to talk. This is a new land to him, so he would be relatively kind of in the background, I would say.
And you definitely notice as Belric kind of goes through. Belric himself doesn't really draw too many stares, but you definitely see some kind of apprehensively looking over at the black bear, but kind of seeing that he's calm and docile. Kind of giving you some berth. Like, I imagine probably like near the front of the group, there's like kind of a little bit of a crowd of people kind of just trying to jostling their way through towards the gates. But when he gets back, like, you've got like your own little perimeter here with the bear giving you some space.
I like it.
Perfect. Who wants to go next?
I'll do it. I have a shorter description this time. Will is a beautiful, dark-skinned man with golden eyes and golden curly hair. He wears simple traveler's clothing in order to blend in with the general populace, but his flawless skin with glittering flecks of gold give away the fact that he is an Aasimar. Imagine a person who looks airbrushed in real life. Like the cover of a magazine, but standing in front of you.
Nice. With Will, where is he in the group, and kind of what does Will do as he's traveling along? How does Will kind of pass the time as he travels?
I would like to answer that question by asking you, how crowded is it exactly here? Like, is it like are we patiently waiting in line to get through the gate, or is it more like just like a massive crowd of people all around the gate kind of situation?
Definitely crowded, but one of the things you'll learn, and Jeeton probably Ateria already know, is Ateria is fairly orderly. So there's definitely a line. It's busy, but there's definitely a neat cue for it to keep people kind of progressing through the way they should.
All right. In that case, I think Will would probably be standing close to the front of our section of the line, just making idle conversation with whoever is standing in front of us in line. Just entirely small talk, nothing important at all, but he just can't help himself.
Definitely, you kind of see like a merchant pair from Codinia. Like they're selling like arrows, just pellets, like different things so you can kind of arm yourself with a bow or a sling. You see they got a big cart, and it's a couple, and you see like the guys kind of like giving you some side eye a little bit, but the girl that's with them is just chatting you up, just like, oh really, that's so nice. I've never seen eyes like that. Just really kind of just getting into it.
Will would be like, oh, you're too kind, miss, you're too kind. And like Will definitely have bought some of his starting equipment from these people and like leaves this place feeling like he's made a lifelong friend. Like,
perfect. As you kind of buy some of the equipment, you do see the guy kind of like the side eye decreases, it perks up a little bit.
They just can't help themselves. Anyway.
Perfect. Who wants to go next?
I can go next. So I'm playing Wisteria Ringdotir. She's of slight build for a half-orc, but her dark hair is done up in a small ponytail with a few loose bangs, unable to be tamed. She wears a black scholastic robe over a leather armor and has at least 3 books hanging from her belt for easy access, not to mention a half-dozen others in her pack. She wouldn't look like much of a threat except for the large crossbow sewn across her back and the dagger strapped to her thigh. Her eyes, when not in a book, are always moving quickly, scanning her surroundings for details and information that might be of use to her. And as she's kind of waiting in line with the others, she's doing exactly that, making notes on the weather, the people that she sees, trying to just jot down as much information as possible because you never know when it might come in handy. You might hear her muttering under her breath things about like, oh, with this heat, we'll need to make sure to pack extra water. I believe we have 3 gallons, and just jotting down things, making notes for what to do once we pass through the gate.
Nice. And yeah, you definitely take note. You see pretty much you see a lot of merchants, a lot of people with weapons of war. You actually even see some mercenaries too, kind of small groups of people, kind of well armed, well armored, with kind of different insignias and patches on them to kind of describe their units. You definitely see kind of a nation kind of preparing itself for war. Other thing you'll notice with the weather too, it's sunny, it's hot, but starting to get windier. It's kind of the wind's kicking up. Sweet. Who wants to go next?
All right, I can go next. Jeet is a fairly muscular human man with a slight dark goatee on his face. He wears chainmail armor and is carrying a shield. Neither of them look particularly fancy. On the shield, a close observer can maybe tell that there have been attempts made to try and draw fire on it using various materials, but nothing seems to have quite worked out. Jeet is closer to the front and looking around at the soldiers, the Atarian people. He has this excitement of returning home, but also just wants to make sure that all of their stuff is in order. Like Ateria is an orderly nation. He remembers that, so coming back from Cordinia, he has to make sure that like all of our paperwork, whatever we need to cross the gate, he's like double checking, triple checking. He kind of like Wisteria, he also worries, but unlike Wisteria, he worries out loud. So he like go back to the others and be like, hey, is your water skins full? Okay, good. Yours? Okay, good. Best behavior. All right, let's do this.
I feel like Jeet and Wisteria at the front, like just both kind of like worrying in their own way. Like Jeet's making sure that people's waters are full. Wisteria's kind of looking for different things they need to get. But definitely, and yet, how long has it been since Jeet's been back home to Ateria?
I was gonna say a couple of years, but a couple of years since he like left the monastery and the nation. And I think since then he may have gone back for vacation a year ago. But it's or like 6 months ago, but it's been a while. Yeah.
Nice. Definitely where you're able to kind of get your papers in order. And one thing actually with getting your papers in order, this will be a question for everybody. You guys all do have the symbol of the arbiters. Do you guys wear it openly, or do you guys, or who does wear it openly, I should say?
Yeah, I think Wisteria would.
Sure.
I would follow suit.
Yeah, probably. I feel like it might help us get through the gate. I don't actually know 100% what we will need to get through the gate, if anything. So, anything that grants us a little bit of legitimacy will help.
Yeah, Jeet is the same way, that he has it out right now because he thinks it'll help at the gate. Once we cross, we'll see.
I think Will probably wears it underneath his shirt, but he can pull it out anytime.
Mercury would have it along with all of his other symbols he is carrying of his gods. There's a lot.
Mockery, we'll have you go next then. I got a question for you after that one.
All right. Mockery is a red-furred gnoll with a mohawk that goes all the way from the top of his head all the way down his back and to the tip of his tail. He is a worshipper of infernals, and that shows of corruption to his body. Most notable are his eyebrows have become thin, twisting horns. His back teeth have ripped through his jaw and curled into ram-like horns. There are haphazard scales and feathers along his body. He has hooven feet and a snake-like tail. He currently has a big old smile. He's actually not geared up for war right now. He's in more casual clothes with the green and yellow kind of color scheme to him. He does have his sword on his back, but it's very much sheathed, very much put away along with a lot of his other gear. Probably has a bit of a backpack on, and he looks absolutely excited, barely contained in excitement. Of course, he holds himself a little bit lower than everyone else, despite his large and kind of wide size. A little bit more curled into himself, but he's still like excited. Like, Like he wants to guess about traveling. He wants to be like, look at that, look at this, look at that. But he's been told to be on best behavior, and he's trying not to ruin anyone's time right now.
Nice. Is this Mockery's first time out of Cadinia?
I feel like Mockery has mostly stuck to Condinia, but he has actually, you know what? I was about to say he probably made some pilgrimage to the Temple of Makesh, but I think it would be better if he hasn't. So
Yeah.
that way one day he can make a trip there for the first time himself. So yeah, I'll say, yeah, this is the first time he's been out of Cadinia. He's traveled alone. Actually, wait. Black Duck Skyland.
Oh, fair. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Black Duck
other
Island-
than that, it's all been Cadinia.
Sweet. Yeah, so you're able to you travel through. You said you have your symbols for your infernal gods, we should say.
Yes.
all right.
Unfortunately, that would include the one of apathy and pestilence.
And that was going to be my point. Yeah, so you draw some stairs naturally because you're not covering up any of your corruptions, are you?
No, those are all shown. He's in casual clothes too, so the armor isn't covering a lot of the more like gnarly scales or feathers that are all around him. He's just casual clothes, so very visible.
Yeah, you definitely attract some stares, and even like you attract some stares, and then you see especially the Atarians kind of snort and some even spit as you pass by, as they notice some of the infernal symbols upon you, especially if they catch the pestilence symbol as well.
Oh, that's perfect, because whenever stuff is happening like that, people are treating Mockery like that. He always says a short prayer to Vincero, if that's how you pronounce it, for that power of apathy, stoicism, to weather that storm.
And that's everybody too. So as you guys kind of march along, you start to see kind of a lot of the merchants let through. As you get to the gate, you see a group of Dragonborn and Kobold soldiers kind of going through, checking people's papers, and they're looking through them pretty hard. They're checking papers, they're checking kind of stories, why people are coming, they're questioning people, and a lot of people are getting turned away. You see kind of first this kind of traveling couple that looked like a pair of humans that were coming in. You kind of see that they rifled through their stuff, and then you see one of the Dragonborn point a spear and hear kind of a gruff voice say, "You're not allowed in Ateria." And you see the couple head to the back. You see like a lot of the mercenaries, a lot of the merchants especially, almost every merchant you see is let through after like a pretty like good shakedown of their gear. But as you guys can get closer and closer to the front, probably one of the things in Mockery, this probably stands out to you a little bit as you see it too, because these people were probably about three kind of carts ahead of you as they approach the soldiers' gate. But you did see a cart from the Imperium of Mechas. It has a human running it, as long as with a golden tiefling as well, kind of assisting and kind of like manning the horses and all of that. And you see as they get towards the front, it becomes a little bit of a scene, actually. You see the Atarians, like they don't even look at their papers. And you see one of them, the silver dragonborn, and kind of wearing the Sonoro clan symbol, basically just growls at the guy and goes, "We don't let the infernal in here. We believe you're responsible for our emperor's disappearance. Turn around now." And you see them like shout at the tiefling. The tiefling kind of like tries to, like, you hear the tiefling go, no, we're just here for business, trade, business. Like you see the Dragonborn like even like kind of knock over one of the boxes off the cart and say, "Leave or there will be violence." Do you guys do anything?
I think Will's eyes are sort of darting between those people, like watching, making sure nothing crazy happens, but also kind of like looking at Mockery, like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
are we gonna be turned away as well?"
Mockery is looking at this. He's still excited. Most notably, he's not jumping at their defense. In his mind, it's just like, competition is cutthroat. You need to have a faster, quicker, and more silver tongue if you want to get led into there. Not quite thinking about himself yet and how they might react to him. just like looking at them, shaking. He's not judging them, but it's like Makesha's teaching should be helping you here.
I think Elric from behind would kind of give Mockery like a little nudge, like, "Hey, pay attention to what's going on up here, like closely." And I think kind of Elric's nerves would kind of start going, but he would still remain in the back.
Oh, hi.
And I would
that's
not.
when he realizes.
Yeah, I would nod at some of the emblems that are out and be like,
Mockery he wouldn't put them away. He just kind of swivel them so they're stuck in his mohawk. Like he hides them in there, so they're not truly hidden. They're still on his body, just not quite visible.
I mean, as far as I know, there's no explicit clauses forbidding gnolls or worship of the infernal gods. So, I mean, if they're following the letter of the law, then we should have no problem. But who knows how that's going to turn out?
Out of game, Mockery is like visibly a tiefling, right? Like easily recognizable.
Oh yeah, corruption all the way. Like,
cool. Then Jeet will say, "Will, do you mind just coming up here to the front?" And then,
Of course. I'll do what I can.
okay.
Squares his shoulders and puts on his finest smile.
And then Jeet will go and stand squarely, like next to whichever side of Will most likely like cover up Mockery behind them.
I feel like Mockery is just wide enough to where you can barely see a little bit of him poking out.
Perfect. Well, as you guys kind of get in position, Will comes to the front of the group. You do see kind of the tieflings trying to like bring out a sack of gold. It goes, "Oh, we've got gold. We can make it worth your while." And you see at that, and G like and Wisteria hasn't spent too much time in Ateria, but G, you would know for sure that's an affront against getting a bribe to do that. That's an affront against their honor. So you see like the silver dragonborn, just like grimace, it's like trails of like icy breath kind of coming off of his face, and you see he actually snatches the gold and goes, "You have violated our rules. We told you to leave or there would be violence. We are confiscating your cart. Leave now or meet Thana." And you see he points, snatches the gold. The other dragonborn, a golden dragonborn, comes and snatches the reins from the cart. You see the tiefling that looks for a moment like that he's going to draw a blade, but both of them, kind of the human and the tiefling, kind of hang their head and start to walk from the cart and head towards the back of the line.
As they pass, Mockery is going to say something to them.
What's he say?
If I may, you should know your customer base. That was a really bad idea. Makesha's blessings upon you, and to better competition.
Yeah, you see the human looks defeated. That tiefling looks pissed. He goes, "Know my competition? Better blessings? That was all we had. We could have made a killing. We had so much. We had guns. We had everything."
That's what happens when you roll the dice and you made a really bad bet. Hey.
Actually, I think Will would like to try to, like, before, Mockery can continue this conversation, but I just wanted to say before, like, it becomes too late, Will would like to try to maybe just convince the guards to let them keep their stuff at least as they leave. But that's probably that conversation is probably happening at the same time as Mockery's conversation. So
definitely. We'll say as Mockery's kind of talking with the tieflings, you guys do advance to kind of in front of the guards. The guards kind of put the cart kind of behind the gate so far with no perception check necessary, but you will see the bag of gold that they confiscated is within the cart. It's not like the guy pocketed it or it's like took anything to grease his own palms. Like it's sitting on top of the cart as they're waiting to kind of requisition it. But yeah, you see the two dragonborn. To the left, the golden dragonborn. You kind of recognize this one from the part of the Aten clan. You see to the left the silver dragonborn from the Sonoru clan, kind of working the gates together, even though they may be on opposite sides of the factions. But you do see they kind of look at you all and go, "What business brings you to Ateria?"
Well, we are here on the business of the Lord Maat. But just a moment before we discuss our business here, I wanted to discuss the business I just saw a moment ago. Don't you think it would be better for us to foster goodwill of Ateria in the world beyond the walls when there's so much pandemonium brewing? It seems to me like the folks in front of us, yes, true, they broke your laws, but they weren't quite inside Ateria at the time just yet. I think, in my opinion, it'd be better just let them go on their way with their belongings in order to, foster goodwill, even if you can't let them in.
All right, give me a diplomacy check.
I am doing my best.
Oh,
First roll, baby!
You see kind of like, for a moment, they didn't look moved. But especially as you mentioned that they weren't in Ateria at the moment, you see the golden dragonborn kind of crack and kind of nod along. The silver dragonborn still looks grumpy, but you do see he kind of like looks not confused, but he looks like it definitely looks like he kind of like he not forgot something, but definitely like, yeah, he's not exactly in Ateria. You see the golden dragonborn go, "You're right. They were not completely in our borders. Taking their possessions was not the honorable thing to do. We'll return them to them." And you see the silver dragonborn kind of nod along and go, "The rules were not followed completely." While you gotta see him look back to them and goes, "While these desecrations may be harmful to our empire and may have harmed our emperor himself, we must be above them and follow the rules." And you see they kind of go back and they do, and Mockery, you're still kind of in your conversation right now. Well, I don't even know you're modeling of them right now, as the golden dragonborn comes and kind of brings their horse buggy as well as their bag full of gold.
I imagine Mockery is trying to apologize to the tiefling, like, truly, I meant no insult. Mukesh teaches both greed and despair. No person is immune to it, but no person cannot escape it and go for more. As he's just trying to kind of repair that, as I imagine that's when the cart comes back.
You see, like the tiefling, like he looks like sad, angry. Like he looks like the guy that went to the casino, bet everything he had and lost. Like he's like trying not to cry, but super pissed at the same time. Until you see the cart and buggy come along with the golden dragonborn. Will, do you come along with that, or do you? What do you do?
As they are returning, like gathering up the things that they're going to be returning, Will is like buttering them up like crazy, being like, your generosity is unfathomable. Clearly you've made the wise choice here. Like there's like constant, like building them up for making the right choice, just so that they have a positive opinion of us when it's our turn to be evaluated.
You see, the golden dragonborn kind of nods along. The silver still seems a little bit surly, but yeah, they both warm a little bit. And yeah, the tieflings, as you see the golden dragonborn come back, and he goes, "You weren't technically in Ateria. Here is your stuff. Leave and come back." You see, he kind of gives you a glance, Mockery, before he kind of heads back to his post.
While they're moving the stuff back to the merchants, can I use my eye for numbers skill feat to get a sense of how much gold was in the bag that they offered the guards?
Yeah, this was a pretty hefty bag of gold. You'd guess there's probably about 25 gold pieces in there, so it's a decent size.
I'll nudge Will and kind of glance at that bag of gold and say, "Good job there. But I think it would be beneficial to our cause if we could maybe get a little bit of payment for what we've done to the for these merchants."
I'm just doing a good deed, friend. And if they would like, and Will's just gonna kind of glance over at them, and if our good friends wanted to pay us in kind, then that would be, well, certainly very generous of them.
You see, the the tiefling is astonished. The human is looking in disbelief as the gold comes back to him. The tiefling goes, why'd you do that for us?
Truly, honestly, I just think that I want to make the world a better place. And I feel like another poor, unfortunate soul wandering the world is just going to make everything a little bit more dangerous.
You kind of see he nods and goes, my name is Vishen, and I truly appreciate this. Usually people don't go, where I'm from, people wouldn't go out of their way. Most people, where I'm from, would have either taken the cart themselves, tried to steal the gold. I appreciate your assistance. And you see he does actually open up his gold pouch, and he does hand each of you guys 2 GC. Mockery, you were last, and you could definitely tell he almost didn't want to hand it to you. But you being part of the party, he kind of gives it to you and goes, if you're ever in the Imperium of Mechas, look me up. I'd be more than happy to show you our hospitality.
Could you tell me his name again?
Vishim. So, Veshim. Yeah, with that, he kind of takes his gold and kind of gives it's a little bit of a sad look, sad mixed with happy look back. He missed out on his opportunity to sell an Ateria, but at least he didn't go home empty-handed. He came home kind of pretty much what he left with, slight little bit of gold. But as they do take off, it is time for you guys to kind of meet the guards. You see the golden dragonborn nods back at you and says, "Your arbiters?"
And that we are. Will pulls
Yes.
the chain up out of his shirt so he can show the symbol.
Chaos of the times. You lot are popular up here lately. Your second batch we've seen in 2 weeks.
Could you please describe in detail the individuals that you saw that also wearing arbiter symbols?
You just gotta say he looks a little bit gives you a raised eyebrow. You see the scaly skin kind of roll up. Give me a diplomacy check with that, Mr. Aaron.
All right. So here's a question. I'm thinking about pursuing a lead of finding more about this other arbiter group. Would that give me the +1 circumstance bonus to this roll, or would this sort of? I guess the clue is them mentioning it, and then I'm just kind of trying to understand how that ability works. I can put it in the chat.
Oh yeah, we'll give it to you this time. Let me read that one over for next time. But yeah, go for it this time.
Okay.
Oh,
Oof.
you may want to use that hero point.
We got both the criticals out in their first 2 rolls.
Wow. Nah, save it. We don't need it. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and use it.
Go for it. Yeah, you got your own hero point. Yeah.
Wait. There we go.
Better. Yeah, you see, he looked like he was initially as you asked him to describe people that came by 2 weeks ago. He looked like he was gonna be like, "What the hell's that? My job?" But he goes, "The arbiters do good work. We saw one pretty shining male human kind of semi-dark skin, just really gleaming male, had a blue falcon upon it. Saw another, an elf. You know the type. But markings upon her, very, very green eyes. And they had a dragonborn with him too. Looks like he came from the Thanza clan, so they're not all bad. Fat cat folk. And one of those birds, the Strix.
Would Mockery recognize that those descriptions?
You guys would all, they're a pretty distinguishable group on that side. They are Squad 7 for the High Arbiters. So they're a little bit higher ranked than you guys, but some of you guys have had some run-ins with different ones of them. Good and bad.
And how long ago did you say that came through?
2 weeks ago.
Thank you, I appreciate that. We're looking to meet up with them. But is there anything else you need from us? I mean, I have all the paperwork in order. If you need to check any of this.
You kind of see they go, kind of one of them glances to Mockery, kind of glances back to the group and goes, "Yeah, Arbiters, we got one group of Arbiters here. What are you all planning to do? How are you all serving balance here?"
Will is just tempted to just, I'm gonna have just him do it. Well, my friend, we're here to save the damn world. Truly, honestly, we're seeking to see if we can be the ones to find the deceased emperor, Ateria himself.
Give me a diplomacy check on that one.
All right, just a random dude. Clearly not even high rank, talking about who's gonna change the whole dang world. All right, but I am good at this. I believe in myself. Go. Okay, well, not a great roll, but
yeah,
here we are.
The Dragonborn, they kind of look to each other, then they look back, and you see like they just start chuckling. He go find the Emperor himself, save the whole world. I like you. After that business, we needed a laugh. But hey, your Arbiters, paperwork kind of looks at the paperwork Wisteria handed him. Looks to be right. Don't cause any trouble, but you gotta see him like tap his spear twice, and the door opens behind you. He goes, "Welcome to Ateria." And you guys see the doors open behind you, and you see kind of like the sun almost seems amplified as you come across Ateria, kind of waves of heat almost just emanating off of it. You see this wide expanse of just desert in front of you with kind of two things in the distance, one pretty far distance, but the other not too far from the gates themselves, probably about 2 or 3 miles. You can kind of see it off there. You see like this row of tents. Like it looks like just like an encampment. Like it looks like almost like a refugee type encampment. Kind of just 3 miles off from the campsite. You can see that it's in the distance, but a little bit further back than that, you see, and Jeet, you would definitely be familiar with this town. You see Arga, about a few miles past that encampment. It's kind of the main city, the main kind of area right next to the gate. So it's not like a huge city, not like one of the kind of the cities Ateria is known for, but it's definitely one of the ones that gets a lot of travel just due to being the main passageway between Ateria and the rest of the world by land. You see as you guys come through the gates, they shut behind you. You see kind of moving Atarian soldiers, like the gates fairly well manned. You see humans, Dragonborn, Kobold, even a few lizard folk, all in the Atarian armor and gear, kind of manning the gate, kind of watching the travelers pass through, and just kind of keeping an alert. And Jeet, actually, as this goes off, you actually see somebody approaching you, and they look kind of familiar. I'll see if you remember them, but you kind of see this human, little scraggly look. He's got dark skin, like got a really long, kind of like It's trim, but definitely a long beard, longer than a lot of times. It's like at regulation length, we'll say, for being a soldier of the Ateria Empire as a human. Definitely like kind of right along that edge. And you definitely, and whether you remember him or not, his Boca Rim. He was kind of somebody that grew up in your village. Part of the, he serves the Ataria or the Abe clan. But
Yeah.
he's not kind of a true-born member like you and Wisteria to it. But yeah, you see him kind of coming up and he goes, Jeet, been a long time. It's good to see you back in Ateria.
Boko? Boko from Sago itself? Oh my goodness. It has been a while. What are you doing out here? Wait, Boko, come here, but meet the others if you want to.
Yeah, you see, he's kind of got like his soldier's gear on, spear. And he goes, good to Jeet. I bet you're coming back for the war, but yeah, nice to meet all you. I heard you were part of I heard you're part of 2 holy orders last time I saw your parents, but hey, I mean, just rack them up.
No, man, my fire still burns for Nar. What I do for Mott, that's just stuff that I have to do in my, pilgrim of the realms. But what's just quickly, like, what's going on here? The tents look new. That's not war effort, is it?
No, that's not a war effort. That's cowardice. These people try and leave Ateria. They're trying to abandon the empire at its time of need, but no, they're Atarians. They'll stay here until they decide to go home.
Well, yes, a good Atarian should stay and protect their realm and keep order. But I did hear things were not all going quite well by the river.
You see, like he like waves like, we've heard the rumors of river with undead, but he kind of like he leans closer to you, Jeet, and you guys gonna hear this, but like he definitely is kind of like whispering a little bit, like opportunity's coming. You kind of see like he looks down and kind of like looks with a more regret. The emperor is gone, but then you kind of see that regret kind of like leave as he smiles a little bit. But now is the time for our clan. There's opportunity, and we're in a good spot for the opportunity. We can make the empire the way it should be. We can spread this order around. That's why you're back, right? Blessed, touched by fire, you're ready to light that fire and make sure that our enemies know what's up.
Anyone who's watching him closely, like you can see the hair on his skin is just rising. You don't know why, but he says, "I am back, and order should prevail." Yes. But I want to make sure that we don't get so carried away that we let our own suffer. So order, yes. Order for the empire, yes. Lowers his voice even more. Order for this whole world, yes. But the good kind, where everyone thrives.
You see, kind of feel like you heard half of what you said. Like you see, especially you say order for the world. He loudly adds, "One world, one empire, one emperor." It kind of like thumps his chest, like not obnoxiously loud, but definitely louder, like twice as loud as you said that to him. But he goes, "You talked to your folks lately?"
No. Haven't been here in, 7 months now? Have you? How are they doing?
Same old for your dad. He's kind of my man in the farm. Your mom, though? She's going places. I don't know what she's doing up there, but she's in the court. She's holding court with the high prince. Kind of preparing for things.
God, like way more goosebumps now. In Utterand?
No. You've been way too long. Ateria, that's where the Prime Minister and his cowards are hiding out. They're out making their way at Sona.
Okay. Well, I mean, I always knew my mother believed. That's why she sent me away and everything. So, but I didn't know that she believed this much. My goodness. I hope my path takes me to Sona. I really do. I hope I'm back in time to witness the good things that are about to happen. But before then, and he looks towards the camps, the tents. I think we, my friends and I, my arbiters, the other arbiters and I, have some business to attend to.
Yeah. If you see her, tell her I said, hey, put a good word with me with the High Prince. You know, I'd like to be of a little better position when war kicks off, but I'll man the gates if I have to. But it's good seeing you, G. You know, fire touched.
You got it, Boko. Hey, Boko, just one more thing. Hey, you said opportunity's coming. Do you know how soon?
I don't know that, but, you know, I heard a little bit of rumors. You know, the Abe clan, and I know we're both lower down. I mean, you're still Trueborn Abe. I'm not Abe, but I heard they started making. They had some inroads with the Mokulin for a bit, and you know, for a bit it was touch and go. And actually, Wisteria, how has Wisteria spent any time in Ateria? Like, would she?
No, this is her first time.
Okay.
being in Ateria.
She's gonna talk.
She studied a lot about it, and heard a lot from her father, but has never been here herself.
Yeah. So you see, he leans in. You know, we had a disgraced member. You know, Tomine. He was out in Mokulin. He was helping us kind of connect some dots. Some sketchy business went down. Heard his daughter called Reavers or something. I don't know. He's disappeared. But we were able to keep that connection going. They've sent us some guns. You know, those new Corinius specials. If the loyalists try to kick it off, just say we're ready.
All right. He, something like displeases him very visibly on his face. Yeah, good. Glad you are ready. Everyone is in place. He gulps, and then he says, "Okay, yeah. I'll put in that good word when I see my mother. You go ahead and keep fighting the good fight." And then he like pat Boko on the armor and just do like a single action guidance on him. Even though it doesn't last long, but just like a blessing of Nar thing, a bit of a spark of Nar. I'll see you around, man.
You see, especially as you guys see that spark collide against his armor, you guys see his smile goes wide. He goes, "Jeet the holy man, Jeet the fire touched. Yeah, good to see you. Glad you're back in time. Safe travels, and may the blessings of Thana be upon you." And you see he kind of goes back and begins to kind of just resuming his duties as you guys kind of see ahead of you the encampment, kind of just this almost refugee looking like encampment. You see the city of Arga in the Arga in the distance. What do you guys want to do next?
G will like very quickly point to the camps and say, "Yeah, we have business there. Let's go check it out." And he'll start walking, very clearly pretending like whatever happened just didn't happen.
I like that guy. I am not a citizen of Ateria. I do enjoy the idea of one world, one emperor. Of course, my idea of an emperor is Tamak, but I like the sentiment. As he goes to walk with him.
G will like specifically look at the great sword, I believe that he has. Mockery has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and he'll say, some people like order, some people like enforcing order. And I suppose it's all a matter of which side you're on. And then he'll look towards the shield and then just straight ahead and continue walking.
Will comes back eating a funnel cake. What did I miss?
Oh, those were perfect lines right there. I love that. To follow immediately by that perfect comedy bit of fun. Hey guys, it's like funnel cake.
Perfect. Well, you guys are able to make your way to the encampment. You see the wind's kind of kicking up as you go, but it's just a couple mile journey. But yeah, you do see as you kind of get closer. This looks like a makeshift encampment, like rows and rows of tents, kind of just crudely thrown up. Some like clearly like just self-made, improvised lodging as these people come through. And as you kind of see some of the people getting into clearer focus, you see like they are like mostly like, humans and some of the other races that may have made their home in Kaza. You don't really see too many of the kobolds or dragonborn amongst them, but you do see like a lot of like the merchants or people that would kind of the people that with the some money to leave, but not enough money to truly leave, milling about the camps. And like you see kind of they are clustered pretty close together. Like this is like a decent, probably like about a half a mile encampment with just kind of people in tents and kind of resources stacked up with some guards patrolling through, but you don't see too many guards as a whole kind of monitoring this area. Yeah, one of the things you do notice is kind of like a number of people. Like there's the kind of as you come in, like a group of kids playing. You see that they're kind of playing like almost like a game of it looks like soccer from our world, but you do see kind of kicking a ball around and kind of like going back and forth on that side. And one of them kicks the ball towards you guys, and you see this young kid, kind of like brownish skin, looks probably like 10, 11 maybe. And he kind of runs up, tries to get his ball, and you see he like stops, and you see like his eyes kind of float between three things, particularly. Probably the bear first, because who sees a bear, especially in the desert? You kind of see like confusion a little bit, then a bit of fear with the bear, followed by looking towards mockery, towards kind of the corruptions from the Infernal, and the other one kind of lingers on Will a little bit, kind of staring at his eyes and goes, "What are all y'all? Buddy, are you a tiefling?" Or he kind of points to mockery and he goes, "You got to be divine touched, right?" Pointed to Will.
Guilty. But we're really just a group of travelers, nothing to really pay any attention to.
And y'all traveling together?
Yeah. We are a group of travelers. Most of us have been helped by the divine in some way. Here. And Mockery will, he'll kick the ball back to the kid. Not hard enough to like slam it into him, but just enough to where he gets the ball back.
And you kind of like see him, like he gets the ball and he kind of starts like dribbling it in place as he's talking, like definitely kind of that little kid energy, kind of like talking and still like doing like two things at once. And he goes, "Okay, so you're a tiefling, you're Asimar, and you got a bear?"
Yeah, this is Bear. He doesn't belong here, young man, and it doesn't look like you do either. Where do you hail from?
"Oh, I used to be from Soga, but my parents said we had to go. So yeah, we packed up and we were initially gonna go. We had some folks in Codinia, but nobody let us through." He goes, "Oh yeah, my name's Olga."
Okay. Just to clarify, Tegan, so Jeet's mom was in Sona, and this person's from Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. Okay. Perfect. Why did your parents take you here? What were they? Why were they trying to get away from their homes?
Well, they kept saying something about being civil, and maybe like a war. I polite war. I don't know. They kept talking about it. We had to pack up and go, but then we just been stuck here for weeks.
Is your name Olga because you're from Soga? My
kinda
name's
seem like,
Mockery because people call me Infernal's Mockery.
You know what? I never thought about it like that. Maybe. That's kind of a cool name to have, though. I mean, did they give it to you? You give it to yourself?
No, they gave it to me.
Okay.
How did you get your name? I doubt you chose it.
Oh yeah, man, my parents did. But yeah, I mean, the camp's not too bad. You can play. I mean, a little boring, but you can play. I mean, the food's not that great, but hey.
How is the hunt?
What?
Surely, you seem old enough, Lieutenant. How is the hunting here? I doubt there's much game in the desert.
You know what? Nobody ever took me hunting.
No one took you hunting. Mockery's gonna look to his dwarf friend. Like, we must talk to his parents. We must teach this kid how to hunt.
I do think talking to the parents is a good idea, but let's make sure we talk about the hunting near the end. Olga, would you mind taking us to your parents?
Oh yeah, I can do that. You see, he kind of like continues dribbling the ball between them, but starts kind of running towards the center of the encampment. As you guys go through, like this is, depending on if you guys have seen, like, and if any of you guys, I'm not sure with your backgrounds who may have, but if you guys have been in like kind of a refugee, like a civilian encampment, kind of escaping a war, it's not the worst one you see. It is quite orderly. It does. They've been given kind of supplies, but it definitely does kind of have that refugee type feel to it. Even with that, you go through kind of these lines of tents and kind of see all like these people kind of just. Some of them look desperate. Some of them seem resigned to their fate, but you do see kind of like in the middle, like this bright red tent. He goes, I think my parents are in here. I'm gonna go back and play, but hunting. I want to go hunting with you all. So if you could, especially I want to see a bear hunt. So you guys, if you go hunting, let me know. It'd be fun.
Bear and Elric will both nod at him in unison.
Did y'all practice that? You practiced that.
And then you'll get a wink in unison from the both of us.
Dude, you gotta see, like, as he dribbles off, he goes, the bear winked at me at the same time the dwarf did. Same time. Swear to Nar.
What would it take to just take some paper, start scribbling down, and maybe forge some documents to help get this kid and his parents across the border? If it's something I can do just like while this conversation is going on, like write down something, I think we would try to do something like that.
It wouldn't be something you could do kind of like just in that period, but if you do like, if you take a log rest, or when you have a chance for a log rest, that would definitely be something you can kind of do kind of during your downtime between resting.
Gotcha.
But you do see kind of this bright red tent. Oh yeah, Wisteria. Something you kind of notice pretty readily in this bright red tent. This tent is bright red. It's kind of like nicely fabriced, well designed. But that's what draws your attention. You see the symbol of Mokulin and Corinius upon it. And you do see kind of people milling in and out of it. And you see kind of as you approach the front and side of it, it's like pretty like for especially a tent in a refugee area, it's pretty well. It's well appointed, but kind of understatedly well. In Wisteria, you kind of know this from your time in Mokulin. Like usually people from Mechas are a little bit louder with their wealth. They're kind of like new money, a lot of gold, a lot of flashy jewelry, a lot of like loud displays of wealth. Mokulin, toned down. It's definitely like the woods that you wouldn't know were expensive until somebody quoted you the price. Definitely some of the nice wines, like some of the it's classily understated, kind of that old money type feel. And you see that design even within this tent in the refugee area. You see people coming in, trading goods, like coming with like bringing what little coins they do have to trade with this man, and he's kind of like a not opulent, but definitely well crafted robes, a mixture of like cream and crimson upon them. This human, he's probably like 40s, definitely kind of paler skin, darker hair, and he is like behind like this little makeshift desk, and he kind of see him like doing business, trading like. You see, like somebody will say, "Come in and ask for some extra food." He'll write something down, take the coins, and go, "See my man outside. He'll make sure that you get what you need." Praise be to Carinius. And you see, like, he's wearing the symbol of Carinius upon him as well. And he kind of like, not sure if he's in charge here, but he definitely does look like one of the powers that be in this area. What do you guys do?
I can see Elric's not liking this place already.
I mean, yeah, I'll. I mean, again, I'm gonna kind of stay out of it and stay in the back here because I don't have a good idea of what's going on.
Yeah, actually, Will's gonna go up to Jeet and he said, "Jeet, after talking to your friend over there, you seemed very interested in rushing over here. Do you have business with somebody in this camp?"
No, what I was thinking, and Wisteria and I discussed this a little bit, is that we would try and find in the country where there is signs of disturbances and disorder, and hopefully, like, one thing would lead to another. I mean, Wisteria is the one who follows the clues, but this seems like a pretty big clue for this whole encampment to pop up. So, our thought process was that we would find some lead of where something's wrong.
All right, makes sense.
A lot of people, all together with very little resources, can lead to one of two things. Either they all come together and forge their own path, or they all come together and start trying to take from one another. I think we can lead them on the road of the former.
Yes. Yes, well said, Mockery. She looks very surprised that Mockery just said.
Mockery immediately looks a bit shy, like, I'm no wise man. I simply had good teachers and some experience being alone.
Wisteria is not surprised at all and says, "See, this is why we recruited him."
He looks happy, but he doesn't like add on to the praise. He just looks like just curls around himself a little bit.
But I'll walk up to this guy and say, "Hello, we're just arrived in Ateria. We're with the Arbiters, and we're hoping to help out with things around here. You seem to know a bit about what's going on. I was wondering if you could clue us in. My name's Wisteria. Intentionally not giving my last name."
Wisteria is enough, unfortunately. A half-orc name Wisteria is not something you come across too often.
Fair enough.
You goes, the Wisteria. I didn't think we get celebrities out here. Oh, what brings you out here? You didn't bring any Reavers with you, did you?
I can see my reputation precedes me a bit. I can assure you I have no current association with the Reavers. My loyalties lie with the Arbiters. And I kind of hold up the badge on my outfit. In fact, and I gesture to the rest of the party, all of us here have come on behalf of the Arbiters to help bring balance, and the situation here with these tents certainly seems like a place that could use our help. Why are all these people here?
And you kind of see like his face kind of falls a little bit when you say kind of the situation with the tits. He goes, my friend, there's no situation here. There's opportunity here. The Atarians don't want their people fleeing. And who am I to judge what their politics are? But there's been a hefty profit to be made. You know what I mean. I heard your report was a little scandalous, but you studied at the same university.
Well, maybe we can work together and increase those profits even more.
I would like that. But yes, these people are here. We are providing goods, services, things they couldn't usually acquire. Just for the right price. You see him hold out his hand and he goes, Velnu, Ateria.
Pleasure to meet you. Do I recognize that name?
You don't, and kind of like you'd guess too, like being this far from Mokulin, setting up at a refugee camp, like he's not the most high ranked. This is definitely somebody that's trying to get on a come up.
Gotcha. But yeah, I'll shake his hand and say, so we have a variety of skills among us. Some of the martial variety, some of the arcane, some of the conversation. So mostly we're looking just to get an understanding of what's going on in Ateria. We want to know who the movers and shakers are, and maybe helping out with you is a way for both of us to achieve our goals.
Movers and shakers, what's going on? You know, I mean, I'd be happy to spill some of my secrets, you know, for a cost.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is Mkesha's and Corinius' relationship to one another, given that they are both gods of wealth, but also given their history?
They hate each other, but they make each other better. Like, you can't really have wealth without, you can't have good commerce without greed. You can't have greed without commerce. And like they hate, like they really hate that they make each other stronger, but they do end up kind of almost reinforcing each other.
They're reinforcing each other, but I imagine they also provide each other competition, which leads to
100%.
innovation.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I had to ask for now.
Well, I'd love to hear some of those secrets. Unfortunately, we're a bit tight on cash in the moment, so I was wondering if there's any other payments we could provide. Any problems that need solving? Any, lost items you need us to find? Things of that sort.
You see him kind of lean in a little bit and go, I know you're not really welcome on Mokulin right now, but I could trust you to handle business, right?
Of course.
Well, these folks aren't supposed to have weapons. The Atarians, let's just say they confiscated whatever they may have brought with them. In Mokulin, anybody can have a weapon that has the gold for a weapon, and I think that's my philosophy too. I've got a shipment. Just in Arga. I haven't had a chance to send some people to it. If you make your way there, bring that shipment back. Kind of looks around and go, I'll give you guys 10 gold.
All right, well, see what we can do. Do you have a point of contact in Arga that we should meet up with to receive the shipment, or?
Yeah. It's my friend Cole. He stays down at the War's End Inn. Look him up. You see him kind of scrawl out on his paper and then like stamp it with kind of like the symbol of Corinius, and he goes and give him this. He'll give you the weapons, and you'll not find your way back with them. Don't get stopped by the guards. Don't lose. You can see like his face, like he's been pretty cordial and kind of cordial, joking, and more kind of like laissez-faire. But his face and voice kind of like drops an octave as he says this: "Don't lose my weapons. You lose my weapons, Reavers, no Reavers, son of Tom or daughter of Tomine or not, we'll have a problem. Understood?"
Understood. I can assure you, you will not be disappointed.
That's good to hear. You can see his voice liven back up. Yeah. Always a good time to see a fellow Mokulin. Times are good for us.
Yeah, they've must say they've been better for me, but I'm hoping that things are up on the rise. So,
If I may, and Mockery will gingerly hold up his hand.
This isn't class, friend. What do you got to say?
You are doing a good thing. Any man deserves to have the chance to defend himself or to hunt, and they cannot do that without weaponry. The guards protect the walls. They do not protect these camps. And while I see your mind is more for the opportunity and profit, you are still doing a good thing. And I appreciate that your focus and profit leads to those good things. Here, it is not charity. It is an investment. Thank you for your help with these people. And Mockery will give him 2 gold.
Okay. Yeah, he kind of like takes it, like looks at it like, thank you. Yeah. You know what I always say? 2 birds, 1 stone. Do something good, make a little bit of profit. Hey, that's a good
I like
deal.
that saying. I don't like birds. So 1 stone. Yes. And who knows? Perhaps if this one day becomes a town and you become powerful, maybe there can be a gambling hall, a certain kind of gambling hall, to keep things circulating and moving. And he gives him
I'll take you up on that. Once we get a little bit more capital, you gotta see him lean in. You know, people with with a lot of time on their hands, not a lot to do. They like to roll a few dice. They like to bet a few coins. So I'll keep you in mind. What's your name?
I am Mockery. You may have heard of me. I'm the Hound of Goldinia.
The Hound. The Hound. Yeah, I heard of you. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay. Everybody deserves a chance at gold, right?
Of course. That is the nature of greed.
I wouldn't say it like that. I would just
And Mockery gives a wink. Different competition has different sayings, but it all leads to gold and circulation of gold.
Mockery has an interesting way of phrasing certain ideals, but I can assure you that his and mine and yours are all in alignment. So,
What you know? What you guys? You give me my weapons, and hey, you gave me some gold. I'll give you a little bit of a heads up out here too. Guard captain, stay away from me. Real stickler, really by the books. If you can, just avoid him, especially when you bring the weapons back. He kind of controls most of what goes on in this camp. But yeah, Arga, good city. Good drinks, good food. Don't stay out here if you can. And hopefully you get some gold from this too. You can stay in a nice inn. Stay at the war's end too. Just kind of keep it clear. And if you guys can fight, I'm just saying the Abe clan is throwing out coins for mercenary. They are bringing in mercenaries by the boatload. So I know you're arbiters, but listen, Mockery, you know what the profit is. You got that sword on your back. You earn a lot more, I'm saying.
Mockery actually will hold up his hands and shake his head while I follow the coin, I have friends I follow now. I'm not quite certain of their opinions yet. I make no statement yet.
Because he nods along and goes, all right. But hey, thanks for the coins. Thanks for the service. And I'll see you soon. And he kind of goes back to kind of working with the different people, almost not dismisses you, but definitely kind of turns his focus towards some of the other people that are coming in and kind of asking him for services. You do see kind of around you, it's still about midday. The sun's still high. The wind does seem to be kind of getting just a little bit windier than even when you came in. What else would you guys like to do? Are you guys heading to the village, or is there anything else you all would like to do out in the encampments?
Yeah.
I mean, Wisteria will kind of explain this all to the party if they weren't already like overhearing it, and say, yeah, I think this could be a good opportunity for us, not only to get some income, but also to build some connections here. People who are willing to help out others, despite what the rules may say. So.
And one of these, Ulrich would speak up and say, "One of these weapons, what will they be used for?"
Yeah, same question.
Clearly, these are refugees. They want to get away from this war, this civil war that's brewing. It will be used for self-defense and hunting. I doubt he will sell them all to mercenaries, but it is possible.
I'm just very curious. Yeah, I hadn't realized that I had joined up with a band of well-known, well-respected people. It seems we've been in the nation of Ateria for about an hour now, and so far, it seems everybody knows who all y'all are.
I'm well-respected?
I can assure you that any rumors you might have heard about me, I've done my best to quell them. I don't like being talked about or being recognized in this way. It doesn't feel good that when someone I've never met before knows more about me than I do about them, but that's the way things are, so I'm just trying to do my best to deal with it.
So, I certainly understand the sentiment. I want to understand, make sure that I'm understanding clearly. This fellow wants to import a bunch of weaponry to be distributed amongst these people around in this camp. That seems like a bit dangerous, don't you think? Like we might be sowing chaos in this little camp of theirs.
It is possible, but I don't quite think so. The guards, if you look around, there's not much here. And while the guard captain looks over this place, we've already seen their opinion quite clearly. They see these people as cowards. They are on their own, if not on the paper, then in reality. They need defense, and they must be able to defend themselves. It is too turbulent right now.
I suppose that's true, but I am concerned that if we start, ensuring that everyone around here is armed, they might just storm the gate and charge right out.
That is where I believe we can come in. If we can have them believe they can more so establish themselves as a bit of a safe haven for those, rather than simply leaving Ateria, then it is, like he said, 2 birds with 1 stone. They get to stay in Ateria, and the guards are happy, and they give a new place for all those who need to escape, who aren't fit for fighting just yet.
I suppose that makes sense.
We simply have to make sure we move them in the right direction for that, though.
If it might allay any of your fears, maybe we should go and talk to a few people around this camp and see how they feel about having weapons taken away and what they might do if they were provided with weapons.
And I want to say that while that conversation was happening between Wisteria and the guy, Jeet was actually moving around the camp. He was not overhearing. I think he would come back right now. Jeet wants to go and talk to people, especially those from Soga, like the boy was. because now he's getting concerned that all of the trouble that Spock and the others have talked about has reached Soga, which he was not expecting. He thought it was like somewhere around the river, but it probably hasn't reached Soga, so he's a bit concerned, and he would have been like going around camp trying to figure out what's happening in Soga.
Definitely. Give me a sense motive, we'll say, as you kind of like go around and try to kind of gather a feel for what's going on out here.
Sure, yeah. That's better than most of my other options. Okay. It did roll, I think, privately.
Sweet. Yeah, you kind of go around, you see, and you do see some of the people from Soga, and you kind of get like a little bit of what's going on there. You definitely, the undead, the disappearing villages have not reached Soga yet, but it does seem like people are wary about the war. They've seen mercenaries coming through, especially on Soga, with a lot of mercenaries kind of docking into the port and kind of hanging around the cities. It definitely does feel like it's preparing for war, and some people don't want to be caught in the middle.
Okay.
And that's kind of what the gist you're getting for a lot of these people. And some kind of, you see a few too, where it looks like they may have like lived in Ateria for a time, probably multiple years. They're not like kind of merchants passing through, but they are merchants that stayed for at least a few years and just really aren't being allowed back out now.
Okay, yeah, so by the time he's joined the rest of the group and they're discussing about the weapons, he's already relieved. He's like, no, my father is very loyal, very brave. Like, he'll be in the farm, and if the undead are not there, then he's fine. So yeah, then when this discussion comes up of what these people would do with the weapons, he says, yeah, I've been talking to a couple. I don't know if they have any ideas yet. They all seem to want to not get into violence. So I don't know if they even want the weapons.
Well, I mean, if Downey's gonna spend all this money for us to get him the weapons and then he can't sell them, that's his problem.
Fair. Plus, as much as it pains me to say this, we need the money.
Oh, I know.
I suppose you're right. And more than that, though, even, I think perhaps this fellow might be able to point us in the direction of more connected people.
He did promise to share some secrets if we did this for him.
All right. Well, I'm convinced, but sorry, I was only partially listening. He wants us to go collect a shipment of weaponry from where again?
Arga, the town right over there.
Oh, from right over there. All right, then. I thought it was going to be further away. All right.
How far is Arga?
Just like probably about 4 or 5 miles from the cabinet, so it's not too far out. Kind of far enough to keep a distance, but close enough for trade and things like that to go through.
So how will we hide those weapons from the god, of course?
So that's going to depend on the volume as well as the quantity of the weapons we need to transport. So I think our best bet is to meet up with Cole, and he'll be able to provide those details.
Maybe on our way out, who was the gentleman we were supposed to avoid at all costs? It was like the
Guard captain? I didn't
Guard
catch his name, but yeah, guard captain.
I don't think, did I give his name?
oh,
I don't think you did.
Definitely. So yeah, so the guard captain Ulrich.
I don't know
Sweet.
if there's any sort of like scouting we could do maybe on our way out, just to kind of see like, hey, where is Ulrich, or like what sort of like maybe there's some weaknesses across like this encampment where it would be more susceptible for us to sneak things in unguarded.
Definitely. Give me a perception check, all right?
Oh.
First roll. Let's see it.
Let's roll.
You.
Solid. Yeah, you look around, and you kind of see like you spot kind of like little bit distant, so kind of like still in the center of like this encampment, but a little bit of ways away. You do see a guard post. You don't see the captain in there, but you do see kind of like 3 guards. Kind of like probably a little surprised like how little guards they have inside the encampment compared to kind of the limited amount of people, especially kind of compared to how much they had towards the wall and outside the encampment. But yeah, you see kind of the 3 guards, and one of the things you notice, especially as you kind of start heading your way out towards the village, there's like a lot of traffic coming from like the south and north ends, as people coming from Arga or people coming from the wall come into this encampment. But one of the things you kind of notice as you're leaving, kind of on like the west end or west end over there, you notice that kind of like this is an area where like a lot of like the latrines, like the like just a lot of like the more messy functions of having a lot of humans in one area are. Far less guards. You don't see any guards on the perimeter patrolling really around that area, kind of almost giving that a little bit of a berth. You think that could be a pretty easy spot if you kind of had to kind of sneak back in and bring some weapons with you.
Yeah, Belric would be pretty aloof during the majority of like, even when you guys were discussing like, we should do this, we should do that. Like, even though he asked a question, he would kind of zone out, right? But that would be one thing that he would kind of pay attention to and relay to the team. Like, hey, the west end is not really well guarded. There's 3 guards, and he would relay that.
All right. Well, it seems that we have at least the beginnings of a plan. What do you say we go have a conversation with that fellow that we were sent to go see? What was his name again?
Cole.
All right.
Sweet. Well, you guys are able to kind of make your way outside the camp, heading along towards kind of the pretty much the desert sands of Ateria, crossing through. Sun still pretty high above you, kind of shining down. You're getting windier and windier as you go, but you are able to make your way into the city of Arga. And the city is like, it's not like a huge city. You guys have actually all been to Vesnon. Vesnon kind of dwarfs this little city, but it's kind of like a good trade hub. You see a lot of merchant stalls. You see various inns. You see like a lot of like things to give comfort to people that are traveling through as you go through. But one of the things that probably stands out to you the most is you do see kind of like a mural upon like this large inn. You see like it has like this mural of a battlefield with only like 5 dragonborn soldiers kind of all clad in like golden armor and scales standing, and kind of above it you see the war's end, and kind of see the inn where your Cole may be there, and kind of other opportunities may await. What do you guys do? Or do you guys do anything special as you enter the inn?
Nothing I can think of. I would imagine we just want to head inside, see if we can track down this Cole person. We were told that they would be here specifically.
They would. They mentioned that they'd be kind of waiting at the war's end, and Cole would be able to hook you up with a weapon shipment and be able to deliver to the camp.
All right.
If he hasn't already, then right now, during the walk from the encampment to the village is when Jeet will just let people know that, hey, this part of town, so-and-so customs, are formal, or the way people greet you. Don't be surprised if someone says these things. They don't mean it like that way. They mean it like this.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Good to know.
Elric would leave Bear outside of any sort of tavern or inn just to avoid additional attention.
I was going to mention that they would definitely ask you to kind of tie the bear up outside, probably a little ways away, just not to scare off any potential customers coming through. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I have 2 things with Mockery. Mockery will first ask, do you think it is called War's End because it's so close to the gate?
That'd be my guess. Ateria probably knows.
Yeah, like she'd probably say something like, "There's been 3 different battles here at different times throughout history," and give like the exact dates and the forces and things of that sort.
And Mockery will be very happy to hear that, and he'll also be like, I will stay with Bear to make sure no one tries to touch the good dog.
All right.
And he will sit outside with the bear.
I'm imagining like Bear is tied up next to a very confused horse.
And then Valkyrie walks over and the horse gets even more confused.
Elric would like kind of distrustfully look at Mockery, but then give him a nod, like, all right, thank you.
All right. Into the tavern or the inn.
Jeeth opens the door and goes in.
As you guys walk in, you're kind of like the noise, the smells, everything kind of hit you all at once. You kind of smell the like roasting chicken, and the Atarians like their food spicy too, so you kind of smell a lot of the spice, a lot of like you feel like hit with a lot of flavor as you come in, especially kind of in the desert portions, like a lot of like the areas along the River Rhea prefer some more fish and some of the more kind of less spicy takes, but the deserts they gravitate towards the spice. You're almost hit with that as you come in. Like the music is playing loudly. You see kind of a bard along with a couple of bandmates along, just kind of playing a pretty like uplifting tune as you guys come through. People are drinking. It's a pretty like it's a busy establishment. You see tables drinking, people playing games, dice, kind of trying to gamble away the stress of their day. Food aplenty, and definitely some cool contacts around. But we are going to take a quick 5-minute break. Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of the adventure. The group just entered into the War's End inn. You kind of see like this tavern filled with various people, just smoke, drinks, food, various smells, all pretty much enticing. If you like spicy food, all very enticing. For some, it could be a little bit of a strange occurrence, but yeah, the bar is packed. Mixture of a lot of dragonborn, a lot of kobolds, but definitely a good bit of humans too. You see kind of a few lizard folk as well, kind of scattered around the bar, but it does seem like people are drinking, having a good time, and just kind of unwinding from a crazy day. What do you guys do?
All right. Well, I guess step 1 is, did we get perhaps a physical description of the fellow that we're looking for?
You did. So Velny would definitely kind of describe Cole. And Cole, like he kind of gives like he's kobold, kind of like rust-colored gold, small, missing kind of like his left tooth, with definitely like a loud voice for such a small guy. This is kind of the description you got for him.
All right. Well, I'm scanning the crowd, trying to see if I can find that kobold. So
yeah, give me a perception check.
Sure. I'm not great at it, but here we are.
Yeah, kind of looking around, you see a lot of people. One of the things that probably catches your eye is you're kind of looking for the Cole, the kobold. Out of the corner of your eye, you see like one of the waitresses kind of like staring at you pretty hard. And you see her kind of like pull something, reaching into her cloak, and she's walking towards you, like not aggressively, but definitely determinedly.
Will would probably look a little surprised and be like, good afternoon, ma'am, as she approaches, looking very stabbable, I guess.
You see she approaches, well, hi there. You know what? I didn't know how I would know it was you, but you know, she said it would be somebody with golden hair and this is really dazzling, almost gold eyes. You could lose yourself in it. Hey, you fit that. I was told, and you kind of see her reach into like kind of like her apron, and she brings out a scroll. I was told to give this to what'd she say? The gavels, the hammers.
That's us. Yes, correct. Sorry, you have me at a disadvantage. It seems that you know who I am, but I don't think I recognize you.
"Oh, I'm just Martha. I just work at this inn." And they came through and they said, "Hey, make sure to give this over." And they kind of described you to a T.
All right. Very well. Thank you very much. Can you tell me who gave you this message?
Well, they were here about 2 weeks ago. There was this guy. I mean, not as pretty as you, but he was pretty. I mean, he had this shiny armor on, and he was sitting and just very kind to all the wait staff. And then there was this just pig of a man. He was just drinking and eating everything we had. It almost went through our stores. And there were arbiters, and they said somebody would come behind them and to give you this, but they told you to open it when you're ready to rest.
I glanced at Will there in his shining skin, and then over at Belric drinking at the bar, and I'm like, must feel like deja vu.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And Will is going to just continue scanning the room and rejoin, or like sort of hold up the piece of paper. Is it? You said it's a scroll, so it's like rolled up. Yes, correct.
It is rolled up. Yeah. So you
right.
see,
Will's just gonna like hold it up and like kind of shake it at the rest of the group. Be like, look at that. That's weird.
I'll grab it out of his hand and immediately unroll it, despite what the woman said.
Yeah, so you unroll it, and you see kind of like these arcane runes kind of dotted across the scroll. Actually, give me an occultism or arcana check.
Just Wisteria?
Anybody who's trained in looking at it.
Sure. I'm trained in that.
Would my bonus for pursuing a lead of finding out more about the Arbiters, the other Arbiter group, apply here? Or
I don't know this one, yeah.
that was
You said it's control click to make it a secret check, correct?
Yeah.
All right. I did it.
Oh, I did not make it secret successfully.
Solid, Will. Yeah, you take a look at this, and you're like, probably like this is beyond your magic level, but you can definitely tell like this is. It looks like a unique scroll of message. Like it looks like once you see kind of like the spot where you can like almost kind of activate it, like just swiping through with your finger across the line. You can activate it, and you see like this would be like an almost amped up form of message.
I'm very actually familiar with that because I also have an amped up version of message in my own repertoire. But so I'm assuming like if you swipe your finger over that symbol, it would play an audible message for us.
This with you did really well. So with this, you'd think if you swipe your finger over the sigil, it would connect you with someone. It's strong enough. It's not like a regular message where you're limited to words. This is something you could have a whole full conversation with someone, whoever's on the other end.
All right. And is there any beyond that? Is there anything just like written on the paper?
Nothing on the paper. You kind of just saw the Arbiter seal at the top before it was opened.
Interesting.
Okay.
I haven't seen one of these in a long time. This is for direct communication with somebody. Seems like they want to talk to us.
So, time out. We're familiar with Squad 7, the Arbiters. How do we know them? Like, are they rivals? Are they friendly? Like, what is kind of our background with folks? It's been explained and I'm missing it.
Definitely. And I'll kind of give you a little bit of background on Squad 7 as a whole. They're a little bit higher ranked than you guys in the organization. And it kind of depends on kind of who you ask, kind of what they are. But they're trying to move up. They're giving more and more kind of high profile assignments. And some of them are like really good people. And some of them are not. You guys know their leader, Barrick Andarson. He used to be a Codinian guard. He's by the books. Like he is like almost forged in the high arbiter's mold. He is definitely about order. He's it's a good cause, but he's definitely drank the Kool-Aid. He's fully bought in on this mission. Charming guy, shining armor. He's definitely he's one of those ones like he's almost too earnest. Like he's like a Captain America type where he's really trying to do the right thing, but can annoy the hell out of you while he's trying to do it. But overall, you'd probably like, even if he annoyed you, you'd probably think that he's a good guy. Just probably not somebody you'd want to hang out with. Some of the other members, though, could be a little bit more, like colorful. We'll say, Drick, Vince. If there's anybody, Belric, this may be you. He is definitely his patron god. Outside of Thana is Kosir, the god of celebration. He is, if he's not on a mission, he is at the bar along with the Ola Malu, this kind of big catfolk monk. Kind of Drick likes to have his like in not moderation. He'll get like he likes to drink off mission. We'll say. Ola usually has like a big jug with him full of booze, whatever he's out on mission. He says it's a drunken master style, but sometimes people say it's a little reckless. So it kind of depends on how you feel about it. They all have like their own distinct personalities. They're all committed to the cause of the Arbiters, but they usually get better assignments. And, probably a lot of that is due to Barrick's kind of influence, trying to keep them in line. And so they got chosen. Probably we're gonna go flashback a little bit. Back in Vesnon, when High Arbiter was handing out assignment, they did get chosen over you guys to go to Ateria and try to just see if they could bring balance there, where you guys were kind of sent to clear out a Bloodseeker nest.
Perfect. Okay.
One more question about him. As the most recent conscript's not the word. As the person who most recently joined this group, would I have met them before? Because it sounds like they came here 2 weeks ago, and I joined about 2 weeks ago. So it seems like, have I met them before?
You probably haven't met them then. You probably heard some stories. Maybe kind of as like the group is we'll say complaining on their way out to Ateria about how they weren't chosen for this one. Probably thinking about the various members. So you probably have a more negative opinion than the rest of the group, just due to we'll say probably more negative things that were brought up about them.
Wisteria definitely would have gone through the 37 formal complaints she's lodged against Barrick for technically following the rules, but doing so in a way that was not beneficial to the people he was helping.
Okay, so Will would just say, like, so it seems like they want to talk to us later, because this is beyond just leaving us a message. This is for direct communication. This kind of thing is not easy to do, believe me.
Elric would kind of come up and he would have his kind of arms around folks' waists because he's a little shorter, and he'd be like, well, how did they know that we'd be here? If this was left 2 weeks ago, how did they know we'd be coming through?
Interesting. That's a very good question. Immediately, I'm looking back at that woman and seeing if she's disguised as someone else.
If they somehow found out that we were going up to Ateria, and I mean, we were only lightly discreet about it,
Sure.
then I suppose they could have known that we would have to come through Arga, maybe.
Would we know if any of them have any particular like divination magic that they might use to keep an eye on us or anything along those lines?
You would know one of the the Dragonborn Drick. He is a sorcerer. He is a wormling blessed sorcerer, so he has divine magic. So you'd probably guess he'd have some way of knowing if he was the one that kind of tipped him off. Also, you know that the organization back home in Vesnon, they definitely do have some divination, some scrying. So could be either or.
All right, if this was just a message, I'd be in favor of listening to it right now. But since this is direct communication, I think we might be better off waiting for the appropriate time when they were hoping to speak to us. So, as curious as I am, I suppose we should continue looking for this Cole fella.
Maybe we get some rooms at this inn tonight and have some privacy when we speak with Squad 7.
I like that idea.
And with
Guys.
that, Will, you do spot, after kind of you finish up there, you do spot Cole. He is like, you don't spot Cole, you hear Cole. He is like bellowing, he is throwing dice and going, the gods hate me. As like they come up poorly. He is drinking, like he's got like, he's a kobold, so he's like probably like 4 feet tall. He's got like one of the German style liter beers. Like he has to use both hands to lift it up, but he is still pounding them back. He is just in the back of the room, dicing, drinking. For something like being pretty loud and conspicuous, we'll say. Which for some of you that, for a criminal, that may be a little bit odd, but he seems to be living up in the back.
All right, I want to buy him a drink.
Also,
bring it
like,
over to him.
the moment like Will is walking with the drink towards Cole, that's the moment when Jeet goes to Ateria and just murmurs, "I'm having second thoughts."
About this mission, about coming to Ateria, about
Will.
At this point, everything but I think the dice have been rolled. So, okay, let's go.
All right, I approached the guy with 2 drinks, one of which I'm holding for myself, but I am not drinking.
Yeah, so you kind of approach this kobold. He's got some people at his table. You see his tail's kind of thumping excitedly. Like he takes like a hefty pour, like double handing the 2-liter beer or the 1-liter beer, and like slams it down and goes, "All right, who are you all? What brings you to Cole's table?"
I'm gonna slide the drink over to be a rough game, huh?
The gods hate you, they love you. They hate you, they love you. You're up, you're down, you're up and down again.
I certainly know the feeling, as he says, as an angel tells him to leave this place immediately in his mind.
Guys here look at you like, oh, you got a little god test about you too.
Well, you know, it's always back and forth with him, huh? What do you think about? I think I've heard from a friend of a mutual friend of ours that we might be able to help you with a bit of business. Maybe turn your luck around a little bit. Maybe we could speak in private for just a moment.
You kind of see like he looks at you, like looks at the drink, and he goes. You kind of like see him like no sense motive necessarily. You kind of see him like not sober up, but pay more attention. And he goes, "Oh, you want to talk business? Okay, we can talk business. Hey, you, go. You lot, sit down. Voice to G, you have a drink. Stop looking so serious over there."
Takes it and sips it, but he doesn't say anything.
Sit. And he looks at the drink and he kind of looks towards you. He holds up his drink and kind of looks towards you. Well, like he brings it to his lips, but he's
checking to make sure it's not poison. All right, fine. Will take a sip of his drink as well. He's not completely. He's had a bit of communion wine in his days, so.
After he sees you take a drink, he goes, "Yeah, you never can be too careful. But we got business, we got mutual friends. Tell me."
I'll place the paper with the seal of Milkland on the table and slide it towards him.
Oh, this is from Velnu. You all want to get a little bit of smuggling, don't you?
Well, I don't think I would be willing to say that out loud in a room full of people.
Yeah,
but
Jeeta's immediately sputtering. He's like that's what we're doing. Is that what we're doing? He's like looking around from arbiter to arbiter friend.
Gee, why don't you go get another round?
I would never do anything of that uncouth. Certainly not just after having arrived in the great nation of Ateria.
You kind of like see like he was smiling, joking, kind of still like his voice is not as loud as it was when you came in, but he's still talking like at a decent tone. He doesn't seem like he thinks people are paying attention, but as soon as like you started getting nervous and you started like saying he wouldn't do that, you see like his eyes start like darting around to kind of see who's paying attention now. He goes, hey, keep keep it chill. Keep it chill. You're in a bar. People don't give a fuck what you're talking about as long as you just look like you're having fun. You go in the back corner, you go into another room, people think, hey, what are you talking about? You sit here in the business, do business in public? Nobody cares. I'm just a kobold and drinking too many drinks.
All right.
So you like keep it casual, get it?
You know your business better than I would.
Don't look around so much.
Jeet stands up and says, I'm gonna check up on the bear.
Oh, by the way, where is Beshnit, by the way?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Beshnit. Yeah, Beshnit has just been quietly following you guys, still grumbling. He's out hanging out with Mockery and the bear. So you see, like, he's feeding scraps of like the leftover camp breakfast, so like little bits of like rationed bacon and bread over to the bear. And Belric, does Belric have a rule about feeding the bear?
I mean, he would probably not want people feeding his bear. Absolutely not.
So Beshnit is kind of like, shh, I like the bear. We gotta feed the bear's hungry. It's a big bear. We walk. It's a desert.
Mockery in full armor, currently like sharpening his blade, will look over and just be like, "Don't feed the bear. He might eat you." Bear is a big dog. He's a good dog, but he's still a bear. He might eat you. He might get your hand.
Oh, no. Now, Belric has done a good job training this bear. He won't eat me. I'm a friend,
Bear
right?
follows Eldrick because Bear is friend of Eldrick. He didn't train him.
Bear-
They get each other. Still a bear.
Bear gives Beshnik a wink, and he's like, "Keep it going, man. Let's go." Like, your secret's safe with me.
I can't wait to go back to the stable where we tied them up and find just a bloody smear with a backpack. Anyway,
Mockery, before we switch over, say you are armored up. You're next to the bear. You see kind of people coming in. The sun's getting kind of like, kind of starting to go down a little bit in the sky. But one of the things you really notice, that wind that was pretty bad before is kicking up. It's almost like a sandstorm now. It's hard to see kind of outside the bounds of the town.
Does it have any supernatural connections to it, or does it seem wholly natural?
Oh, give me your choice of nature or occultism.
He's not good at either of them. Let's go with nature. Not nature, sorry, occultism.
All right.
Oh, that ain't good.
Mockery, you feel like this is probably like sorcery afoot. This is a natural storm. You've never seen sand move. This is sorcery. This is foul magic. It's something that you've never seen.
I love the flavoring of that. It's just like, no, he's never seen anything like this. This is magic. That's when Mockery would see Jeet come out, sorry, not when. Would. My brain just did the thing there. Would Mockery see Jeet come out?
Definitely. After some time, Jeet will come out as he kind of leaves the rest at the table to deal with their more nefarious dealings. You do see him come out.
Oh, how did it go?
I assume it's going better without me there.
Should I go in and take your place, or make sure our little friend here stops feeding the bear?
Passionate, you've been feeding the bear? He's so glad he's found a way to channel his righteous anger. He's gonna just go off at Passionate for feeding the bear.
You hear Beshnit kind of mutter under his breath, but like he's saying it under his breath, but clearly he knows it's loud enough to hear. He just yells. He says, "Snitch."
Don't make him fat. We will be heading inside. Not too great of a pace, so we can jump over to everyone else.
Sweet, yeah. So yeah, after Jeet leaves, you see kind of Cole leaning back in his seat, two-handing his mug, and he goes, "We can trust you, right? You just real easy. It's in and out. Just bring this cart. Just the guy that was just in, he looks strong. Just have him lift that cart, wheel it in, make sure nobody sees you, and then Velnu will pay you on the way in, the way out."
All right, simple enough. You providing us a cart for to do it. Any chance we could get perhaps a mule? I don't know. I've never been to the a desert land like this. Maybe a camel or something. I don't know exactly how this stuff works. We just some sort of beast of burden for transporting this cart, just so we wouldn't have to pull it ourselves.
He kind of looks around at the bar, goes, you need a beast of burden. You can hire one of the drunks. They may want to carry it for you.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Belric would kind of turn to Will and just like give him a wink and just be like, "Bear." Got it.
All right, Bear. All right, very well. So, and few more questions. Where would we find these goods that we need to be transporting, and when do we need to have it delivered?
We want it done tonight. Just before the end of the day. If you guys are brave enough to bring it in during the day, more power to you. But they're in the stable, my special stall.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm trying to think. This is just now Ryan sort of zooming out of the character. I can't think of anything else I would need to ask this man. I've never done crimes before.
Would this be when Mockery would sit down?
This would be an appropriate time for Mockery to come in, yeah.
He'll sit down and go, "The sand's moving in the air out there."
Oh, good idea. That might provide some good cover for us.
Oh, it was. Hello.
Worried about a storm perhaps being a hindrance to our travels, maybe.
I mean, it'll be a challenge, but more of it, or less of a challenge than walking in broad daylight with no cover and guards.
I suppose that's true.
Across the desert.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, this will be good for you. It will cover you up, and your friend over there, this friend has armor, so it'll protect you from the sands a little bit. Just be careful. Especially kind of points to because Will and Wisteria. Wisteria, do you wear armor? Will, you don't wear armor, right?
No, I do not.
I know Will doesn't. Wisteria, do you wear armor?
Yeah, I have leather armor.
Okay, so you and Belric are the same there. So she looks at Will. He looks at Will. Just be careful out there. I mean, the sands can cut if you're not careful.
They can.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's blowing sand, and the wind blows hard enough, it'll cut you.
And Mockery kind of shakes that off, like, "Oh," but he'll look over to the Skullball and ask, "What materials are the weapons made out of? Are we working with iron, steel? Any wood?"
Bit of a mixture, we got some staffs, we got a few bows, we got a few scimitars, long swords, just a little bit of a mix for who wants to buy.
What of their quality? Have their transports been good, or are they a little? I assume these would come overseas, given how close we are to the water. Are they a bit water damaged, or are they still in good?
Give me a sense motive check.
Sense motive. How do I do that?
So if you click on your basic motive, you can even just roll perception check if it's easier. But yeah, if you click on sense motive on the list.
Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh yeah, so if you click on the basic macro, there'll be a sense motive on the list. So you can do that one, or you can just roll perception, same thing. But hit control before you roll it if you do perception. Or hold control before you roll it.
Control, perception. There's perception. Mockery is not great in this.
Yeah, you kind of look at him you kind of see his eyes even dart around, but he leans in, smiles, and he seems very straightforward, trustworthy. He goes, "These are the finest swords we got. I mean, they came from overseas. We had to make a few deals with some of the merchants that were kind of coming through, but these are going to be good. These will be good for these scavengers, refugees, whatever you want to call them. This is exactly what they need."
Mockery would not do that. He wouldn't try and sense anything. As I said before, he sees this as trustworthy. He wouldn't read too much into it. Not.
All right, very well. Well, Will is gonna he looks like he's about to reach his hand out to shake his hand, and then he kind of pauses for a second, and then just doesn't. He says, "Well, it's been a pleasure doing business with you. We will. Well, I suppose we may or may not be coming back here, but if we do end up coming back, we will see you around."
When you come back successful, drinks on me.
Before
Good to
we
hear.
head out, I had a few more questions for you, Cole. Is the cart covered, or is it an open wagon with the wares kind of visible in the night?
We got it covered. We got some, it looks like ration boxes on top. It's not ration boxes, they're arrows in the boxes. But we put them on top, so it looks like a little something different.
Understood. And how long have you been working with Valadu? What's kind of your thoughts on him?
Give me a diplomacy check here. And while you're rolling that, Jeet, outside with kind of the bear and the recently chastised Beshnet, who's just kind of hanging his head low, you see kind of that same storm that Mockery saw, but you see this person running out of the storm, and you hear them hollering, "Attack! Attack! They came in the camp! The guards will help! Help! Help!" Just shouting in the streets.
Coming from the camp, someone ran in from that direction, from the camp direction.
Into the town, running from the direction of the camp. You can almost see they emerge out of the sand, they are cut up. You see blood kind of pouring from their face. Looks like more. You're pretty well trained in medicine, so I won't make you roll for this. It looks like more kind of wounds from the sand itself than wounds from an attack. But they are bleeding pretty heavily. They are stumbling, sweat, blood pouring down them as they come in. But we're going to cut back over to you in a second. We're going to cut to Ateria. So with that, you guys see him lean back and goes, me and Val have been working for about 2 months. Like that cat. I mean, he's brought a little bit of, let's say, infrastructure to our operations. He got us a little organized. We're making more coins with him around. Bit stuffy for my taste. Offered him a beer, he ordered a wine. But hey, he makes coin. But hey, between me and you, don't cross. I've seen him do some foul stuff to those who don't pay their coin.
We will certainly keep that in mind.
Oh,
Appreciate the warning.
one more. What style of weaponry is this? I already asked what the weaponry is, but the style. Is it clear they were forged in Mokulin, or is this more so a Goldinian style?
It's a bit of a mix, a little bit of here, there. We got a little bit from Codinia, a little bit from Mokulin, a little bit of Atarian style. Just kind of, whatever fell off the wagon, shall we say.
Oh, yes. Thievery. I was a thief once.
Hey. Don't say that out loud.
Mockery, who did not hear the previous thing about being in bar and all casual, he'll look around we are in the bar, no one's paying attention.
You guys see everybody that he falls reporting and goes, I like this one. But in the stalls, grab the cart, get it back to Velnu, because I'm not gonna pay if you lose it. He's not gonna pay if you lose it. So somebody's got to pay, But hey, it's a good day. Get this work done. Drinks on me. We'll live it up.
Very well. It's been a pleasure. Will's gonna stand up and turn around and see outside the window the sandstorm brewing. Like, well, that's gonna be a problem, isn't it?
Cutting over the Jeep, where you see this human man bleeding, just like he runs in, he yells help, he stumbles to the ground, and like one of the things you kind of notice as he yells help and attack, the guards do move, but the guards start like nobody goes towards him, but when they hear attack, they start kind of going to their own kind of formations, their own positions. They take guard around the city. He yelled that attack on the encampment. None of the guards have moved towards the encampment. They've started defending Arga.
His first instinct is to go back into the inn, but then he sees this person collapse. He has healer's tools literally on him right now. So he rushes over and brings out a couple of tools and he says, attack by whom, by what? And he tries to administer battle medicine to him.
Perfect. Yeah, give me a treat wounds check or medicine check. And as you're doing that, he goes, I never seen no creatures like them before. They almost seem like zombies, but they move different. They were too quick. They've been running through the camp, snatching some folks. I saw them grab this young lady, put a hand right on the throat. She looked like she aged 20 years and then just dust.
Okay. So let's see. Somehow treating Belric right now, but we'll just ignore that. Ooh. Not very heroic.
Between like the sandstorm, because even like right now, like you're kind of buffeted by like the shops and the storefronts and the buildings around you, but the sand is pretty hard. Like you try to like treat his wounds, but the sand is getting in it, just making it harder for you to treat your craft. It's been a while since Jeet's been back in the desert trying to treat. Like Codinians are pretty mild temperate. It's definitely harder back home in Ateria.
Okay, then he does the other thing he's very good at. Is he just grabs this person laying on the ground and just drags him over to the inn, pushes the door open with his back, and like starts dragging him in. Arbiters, attack! He's kind of reverted back. He doesn't remember that we are called the gavel right now. We're needed. There's an attack happening.
Oh dear.
Mockery immediately draws his blade.
The encampment, not here. Encampment creatures, not human. Dangerous. Creatures that seem unholy.
When you say unholy, like for just a brief second, you see Will's eyes flash with a brilliant golden light. Just for a second, he says, "All right, well, it looks like we are needed, friends. Let's see what we can do about this." Will's gonna, I guess we're just gonna start rushing in that direction. You said it was like 4 or 5 miles away, right?
It is. So if you guys are heading that direction, we're gonna do some exploration with the Pathfinder QE system.
But before we head out, I was going to throw out the idea of maybe hitching up a wagon to the bear before we head out and bring that along with us.
We could potentially kill 2 birds with 1 stone, hopefully, but it depends how much that's going to slow us down, I guess.
Well, yeah, no,
I
we
will
have to hurry.
I will
we
go
could-
the wagon with the bear. We will get there quickly.
The other option would be we could leave the bear and Beshnit back. So Beshnit could guide the bear back, and the 4 or 5 of us could rush. But I'm also open to mockeries. If we can all ass, that works too.
Because one of the things I'll let you guys know, so this is like, it's a pretty intense sandstorm. So you're going to need somebody to kind of navigate you through it, kind of like tracing the path through the sandstorm and make sure you get, to the right place, because even though it's only like 3 or 4 miles away, this is like an intense sandstorm through desert climates. It's easy to get yourself lost. So you need somebody that's kind of used to kind of navigating through intense environments to get you through. But when you do like something like that, it does make you move at half speed, which would be fair for Mockery and the bear to also bring along your gear, because that would also take your exploration activity and have you move at half speed.
All right. That's fine then.
That's ideal, right?
Seems like it works.
You get there slower, but in the grand scheme of things, eventually those villagers will get those weapons at a price. But
Perhaps if they're under attack, they're going to need what's in this cart. So whatever, let's just get moving. Rush out, grab the cart, throw a blanket over the top of it, and we rush out into the storm.
Sweet. So Bear and Mockery, it sounds like you guys are pulling the cart. Sweet. We'll need somebody to track and kind of lead the way through this maelstrom of sand.
Sounds like for a ranger.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, you'll be the track person. So there'll be a survival check for you. Will, Jeet, Wisteria, what are you guys doing at this point? And they have all the exploration activities. I'm not sure if you guys have had a chance to take a look at that. You could be aiding, or one of you, I should say, could aid Belric and try to see if you can make his kind of help him track through this maelstrom. One of you guys could be scouting, which if you guys do get into a fight would get you a little bit of a bonus to your initiative. I assume most of you guys are heading with your weapons out, so no worries on that side. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of exploration activities to do. Don't worry this time if you don't know too many things you can do. I wanted to kind of introduce this early, so you guys can kind of see how this will work. But there's a lot of cool stuff you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think with the Jeet, he wants to help, but he also hasn't been in the desert climate for a while, so he's going to be up ahead with Belric, but he's going to raise his shield. He's going to do the defense action technically, but what he's trying to do is prevent it from getting into Belric and his eyes in the sand as much as he can.
Nice.
All right. I don't have a lot that I can use to be of very much assistance, but I do have the guidance cantrip.
All right. Yeah, you can cast
I don't know how helpful that would be.
Oh, that should be pretty helpful. Let me pull up guidance here. I think it was a +1.
I think so.
Yeah, so Belk have +1 to a survival check. So pretty much you did aid without needing to roll. So yeah.
Nope.
And actually, if somebody wanted to do aid still, they could still do that too.
So I'll see what the rest of the party thinks. I'm thinking either scouting ahead or, given the covert nature of our current objective, trying to cover tracks. I mean, the sandstorm itself seems like it would maybe do a good job of keeping all that covered.
Yeah, I would say for Wisteria, the sand itself it'd be pretty like you'd have to be a pretty expert tracker to track you through the sand in this maelstrom behind you.
Okay, so then yeah, I'll try to scout out and keep an eye out for trouble while Belric is focusing on navigating.
I roll survival now.
Oh, sweet. So yeah, so you, Wisteria scouting, Jeet's defending, kind of blocking Belric. Mockery is pulling the cart. Will is casting guidance. Yeah, give me a survival check.
Is this secret?
No, you can roll this one public.
Okay, and then so am I getting +2 as my modifier between the shield and the guidance, or just 1?
Just 1, but that shield's gonna come in handy in a second. Because the sands are whipping around you. Solid. Beat the DC, because is that already with the +1? Yeah, that's not with the +1. So you beat the DC by 2. Yeah, so you are able to navigate through these sands. You kind of see the sands shifting around you. Like the sands are blowing pretty hard, but you cut the most direct path through this maelstrom. So you guys only have to deal 1 round of this. So the sands are pretty much going to make an attack. If it beats anybody's AC, you will take some damage, except for you, Belric. The Jeet shield kind of transposed between you. You're able to kind of get through unscathed. So where is that? Not sure what this here. Unfortunately, that probably will hit everybody's
Yeah.
Damn. That's right.
So each of you guys will just take 3 damage as like the sand cuts into you, kind of like piercing through your armor, kind of collecting in, not piercing through your armor, but kind of getting through the cracks in your armor. So you kind of see like the bits of flesh or kind of like softer material that's exposed through your armor. It gets through, it gets into your shoes. It gets, to quote Anakin, it gets everywhere. And you just kind of feel a bit of pain as you go through. Nothing too major, but definitely feel it as it goes across.
Mockery will just yell out as he and Bear are pulling the cart. It's like, I think I hate sand now.
Even more than birds?
No.
No, no, you are in Nars land. This sand. No, I will not let sand slow us down. And as we're moving forward together, if you'll allow me, I would like to cast a 3-action heal.
Yeah, go for it, man.
So in a 30-foot AoE around us, I will give everyone a D8 worth of healing.
Nice.
Oh, did that go through? No. Roll healing. Yeah. 1d8. 3. Perfect.
Yep. You.
All right.
As you actually, how does that look? So you guys are getting like swarmed by sand. How does your magic kind of come up and like revitalize the group?
It's not pleasant. The fire is like cauterizing, but it like covers up the wound and makes sure that everyone is like amped up. So the pain and the sting is there, but whatever disheartening effect that you had, you're now like, yeah, I'm ready to go again.
Perfect. Yeah, you guys feel kind of Nars fire burn you, and also burn within you as you guys kind of feel that amped up coming. You, with Belric at the helm, you guys are able to navigate through the sandstorm. It's a couple miles, harsh trek, but you do make it through with the most like kind of expert path through this maelstrom, and you do come out to this village. And this, you guys had come through this encampment just earlier today. It wasn't like perfect, but it was orderly. It was somewhat clean, as clean as it could be. Now you see a battlefield. You see smoke in the air, fire embers curling around. You see the tents are buffeting some of the sand, but you see sand and clouds kind of maneuvering through. But you do see one of the things that strikes you, especially for those who have like a strong sense of smell. You smell blood in the air. And as you guys kind of get through that last bit of the maelstrom into the camp itself, you see blood scattered around the tents. You haven't seen any living persons as of yet, but you see holes through the tents, blood on the ground, and you hear cries in the distance. With that, I assume you guys, or Bakri, what are you doing with the cart as you kind of see all this come through?
He's gonna make sure to get it to the right tent first. But he has his sword out, he's looking around, he's ready for a battle, and he'll just call out kind of preemptively. Give me 1 second here to get something set up. I'm gonna roll a d5 real fast.
D5.
Yep. Two is Mukesh. He'll call out. I dedicate this combat to the will of Mukesh.
Very fitting for your previous activities through the day, with some economic, with a little bit of greed, we'll say. Yeah, you call that out. You guys race forward, kind of heading toward. Or I should say, I assume you guys head towards the screams, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Fair. You race forward, heading towards the screams. You come into the scene. You see these sparks and embers, kind of like the sand still filtering through, and sparks from the fires further afield within this camp. You see blood all around the sand, staining the sand. Almost feels like permanently. You see these battered tents. But the things that probably draw your eye here, you see 4 beings. 2 of them. Some of you may have seen zombies before, but these don't look like the zombies you've seen. They look like people. You see some of them, one of them looks like an elf, one of them looks like a human, and it looks like they had been trained. Like, rather than a zombie that had decayed, it looks like something had come through and stolen their spark. It looks like husk of their former self. In the back, you see these creatures. Their eyes deep black. Will, as bright as your eyes are gold, their eyes are ebony black. These creatures, they also look like they may have been humanoid at one point in time, or they may have been a humanoid living being at one point in time, but you see twisted bone growing out of their face, armor made of almost like this chitinous bone, almost like it's growing out of their skin. Their eyes are black, but they look intelligent. They look like they're calculating, they look smart. And you see kind of around this battlefield, you see a kobold civilian kind of like cut and bleeding with a husk standing next to him. You see this beautiful human woman with kind of long dark hair on the ground, bleeding from her wounds, with one of the fathomless standing above her. And you see your old friend Velnu kind of standing by his tent. He is still standing. You see he is bleeding. He is like holding one of his wounds. He's like holding his symbol. It like looks like he's trying to bring some magic to bear, but you see like he's just kind of skittered away from one of them. He's got some space, and he looks up and sees you guys and goes, "Help! Help! Help! You're back! These creatures are here! We need help!" And with that, we're gonna get into combat. So let me throw us on the map.
Yes.
Oh, that is bloody cold.
Oh boy.
Sweet. Let me get the stream on the map. Yeah, you guys see this around. Yeah, your bear's there. I almost thought I forgot to put your bear. So you guys are kind of there to act. And everybody, I think you should be. Yeah, roll initiative.
Hey, it's happening.
Ooh, the art you generated look really good for these guys.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but AI art is really cool for when you have a concept for something and just like putting in a few words. Like, hey, that's what I was thinking, but better. Definitely, if you're able to support real artists, shout out to Josh Fetzer, who did the campaign art. Like, I'll throw his Instagram in the link. But AI art's nice if you can't like buy every piece.
I am not on this map. Or sorry, I am not in the initiative thing. Oh, look, I can probably.
That's why. I can do it. Yeah.
Okay.
I switched out your token before. I threw it in with your old token and then switched it out. So you should be able to roll initiative now.
Cool.
Oh shit! I should have asked. I wanted to ask if I could roll religion for Moncrief's initiative, since he's dedicating this. That little flavor of like, I dedicate this fight to insert God's name here.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, should I roll differently, or
just add your if there's a difference, what it is. So that'll work for this one. It may not work every time, but that'll definitely work for this one.
Same modifier.
Oh, same modifier. All right, there you go.
Yeah, I wanted to mention I still get the hang of the way initiative works with Pathfinder, but like, is it too late to say that like Wisteria might have tried to like not rush in there, but be a little bit more sneaky and try to stealth and keep hidden while the rest of the party went forward?
You'd definitely be able to use stealth with that, but you wouldn't be able to come in hidden.
Okay, yeah. Stealth for initiative is basically what I'm looking for.
I really like in Pathfinder the fact you can have different skills for initiative. That's so cool.
Yeah, I think that's a cool thing with it. Kind of gives you some good options there. Oh, sweet. So let me roll these guys. Yeah, so the two civilians outside of Velnu, they look like they are bleeding out. They are in rough shape. This is not going well for them. Velnu looks hurt. It looks like he's using pretty much his magic to keep himself standing. And he's trying to move away, but it doesn't really look he'll be much use to you here. This is kind of like a pretty grisly scene you guys have pulled yourselves into. But yeah, let's see. Kicking it off is the Husk. Who hasn't rolled initiative? Oh, the Kobolds. I haven't rolled initiative. Let me get those last few in there.
No, they're all so well.
Yeah, the Husk.
Nice.
You see as you guys come in,
Nice.
shout your challenges. You see the Fathomless just. And one of the things you'll notice is none of these creatures have weapons upon them. You see blood upon their claws. You see amongst the Fathomless this creaking of almost spiritual. And Will, you kind of see this a little bit clear. It doesn't look holy or unholy, but you can definitely tell it's spiritual energy kind of crackling amongst the Fathomless. But the Husk are up first. You see this Husk come kind of like darting forward, moving almost faster than you'd imagine a being as almost decrepit looking as it could move. It is going to target poor bear. You see it strike out with its claws. And it'll miss. So you see it kind of come at, trying to just strike you with the claws. Luckily, bear proves too quick for it. You hear it let out an inhuman howl as it tries again.
Oof.
That'll hit, but luckily it couldn't do its hit thing. So bear will take 3 damage from the Husk.
Oops. Switch that up.
The other Husk is up. It is going to have to burn 2 actions. You see it just scuttling across the sand and racing towards Jeet. Jeet, you see it raise its claws up at you as well, and you see it just try to rake them across you.
Should I have my shield raised for the defend action, or?
Yeah, you're. That's what you're doing for the exploration activities. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, yeah. So let me just make sure I have that AC bonus up. Raise. Okay, works. Done.
Perfect. So it's going to slash out. I think that mattered. Go ahead. I missed by 9. I missed by 9. But yeah, you see it kind of rake at you, but luckily you've got your shield up. You're kind of reattuned to your Atarian elements, and you just block away this creature strike. All right. Somebody roll me a d20.
Got it.
Good. You see civilian 1. Which one's civilian 1? Oh, that's a girl. Yeah, you see like breathing is ragged, but she does take a deep breath. But you do see she is pouring blood onto the sand. Oh, Fathomless. All right. Let's see how far away are they from everybody. Yeah, you see this one moves 25 feet. And you see it raise its hand. And you see Mockery. It's kind of looking at you when it does this. It raises its hand, and you see this just swirling spiritual maelstrom of energy kind of coalesce at its hand and launch out towards you.
Critical miss.
Yeah, you see it blast like the sand, the wind in its eyes just sends that bolt into the distance. You hear it kind of cringe and howl back out as it tries again. Critical miss again. Yeah, you see
Mockery.
like.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah.
Mockery will just have his blade raised, his body open. He doesn't have the blade part pointed to it. He just has it raised almost like a symbol, as he just says, "Makesh values my life."
You see this creature like just gritting its teeth as it looks at you, like grinding as its prey has eluded it. But yeah, Wisteria, you are up.
Okay. In Pathfinder, is there a penalty for making a ranged attack when you have a creature next to you, or is that just a 5e thing?
There's not.
Okay.
One thing I mentioned, if the creature does have attack of opportunity, that would trigger it.
And if it does, attack of opportunity costs like a reaction.
It does.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I'll say something like these creatures are fast, but that one's not fast enough, and I'll target the one by civilian 1. And because of my surprise attack, since I rolled stealth for initiative and beat it, it's off guard to me.
Nice.
So we're gonna take a shot with my first action.
Critical hit, kicking it off strong.
Yes.
Huge.
All right, so then sneak attack on for 12.
Yes.
Solid. How does that look?
This husk is right next to me, making trying to claw at the two of me and Jeet, but I kind of angle myself a little bit behind Jeet to get and basically place the crossbow on Mockery's shoulder to get a clear shot towards this fathomless, and the bolt strikes through its shoulder.
You see it strike through its shoulder. You see this deep black, ichorish blood kind of drip into the sand. Oh, and you still got 2 actions left. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Let's see. I'm going to reload. There's not really a way for me to stride away from them.
You can stride through party members.
Yeah, I mean, I want to increase my distance. I would go in,
back,
on the
further
map,
back.
but there's not really a battle map there.
I can make it a map or make it on the screen for you there, so it'll be just padded. But go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to move it. Oh, the game.
Game is paused.
Oh, oops. There you go.
Oh yeah, I just lost vision of everything. I'll just move to the left instead to keep it a little bit easier. And yeah, those are my 3 actions.
All right. Gee, you're up.
Okay. First action, Jeet will raise his shield. This should hopefully become a very common recurrence. He looks over at Mockery, specifically Mockery's greatsword, and there's again that look of a mixed feelings that he has, and he says to Mockery, "It is time to enforce order," and he will cast Runic Weapon on the greatsword.
Hey.
That's my turn. So you can drag and drop that effect. Oh, yeah, it's it's runes of what look like little molten lava that just go all up and around his sword, and so now his sword is just glowing with what looks like runes of fire.
Oh, that's so sick. I actually almost drew Mockery's sword with that right there. Originally in the concept. Oh, that's awesome.
All right. Will, you're up.
Will is just going to completely lose it. He's going to stand up tall and straight and say, "Foul creature, you are a blot upon this world, and I will end your existence." And he is going to cast Daze on the one attacking the nice lady over there.
All right.
So I am going to, I believe it is going to have to, you know what? I'm going to amp it. Why not? So I'm going to cast the amped version. And it has to make a will save.
I doubt these things have goodwill.
Ah, shit. Oh.
Oh, the
Yeah.
gavel had good
Rest.
will. That's
Oh,
for
I
sure.
was mistaken.
Yeah, so with that, that's a crit success. Does it have any crit success?
I don't think so. It doesn't. I
No.
think nothing happens when I crit.
Yeah.
Success.
How does your spell look before
So far, it's just like just little swirls of golden light just keep like emanating out of Will's like forehead and just like kind of like spark all around him, and it just casting a little bit of light all in the area around him. But the crazy stuff has not yet begun. All right, but that is my first two actions. With the
Sorry, was that daze?
it was.
Okay, it does have an effect, even if it succeeds, right? As long as it doesn't critically succeed. It's like
It
half
did.
damage.
it rolled a nat 20?
Oh, never
So
mind.
yeah.
Oh, that was a crit success. Okay, then. Okay, then after that, just as a continued part of him just like starting up like a fucking litany, he is going to use demoralize. Oh wait, there's a range limit on that, so I have to choose a different one. All right, but so instead I'm going to use the one target this one. Hold on, I have to remember how to do that in Foundry real quick. Target the one that is currently trying to eat Jeet, and I would say, "Back, foul beast!" And he's just going to try to demoralize it.
Sweet.
And after I cast a spell, my next demoralize gets a +1 circumstance bonus. Apparently pressing the button just rolls it without bringing up the thing, but that's fine. I failed that too, though. So that's my turn.
Have you used your hero point yet?
Not yet. No, I'm saving it.
Saving it? Okay, all right. Sweet. Yeah, so you see this creature this husk almost incomprehensibly looking at you, just still dogmatically pursuing its task.
How bad does this fathomless look?
He's bloodied. He's close to rough. Oh, and actually, I mentioned this to somebody, but I didn't tell Andrew and Berger probably know, but bloodied, half health, rough, less than 25. 25%, I should say.
Oh, and you said that one's bloodied?
Yep, that one's bloodied, very close to rough.
Okay.
All right.
All right, that's my turn.
Ulrich, you're up.
Okay. Valric will have seen this husk attack his bear, and he will be very mad. So he is going to. He would have come in with a short bow drawn. That's typically what he's always going to come in with. So I'm going to cast Hunt Prey on this husk, and I'm going to draw my short bow and attack.
Nice.
Should have already been drawn. Alright. No ammunition is assigned. Good grief. Here we go.
Unfortunately, that will just miss.
Alright, well, let's just roll that again. Use my hero point, eh?
Yeah.
Alright.
Ah, nice.
Hey.
That's true. That.
Oh,
Good
that's
hit.
Alright.
terrible.
That's a good hero point. And I will roll a critical hit.
Oh,
All right.
yes.
So, I really want you to know that you like this guy. I'm gonna just give you straight up their health for this guy. This guy has 7 HP.
Oh, yikes.
Killed him 3 times over. So how does this arrow look that estimates this poor husk?
This is like, I mean, it's nothing we've seen before, but it's almost like, I mean, we're not really familiar with these undead, but like the head explodes. Like there's blood that goes everywhere. It goes on to bear even. and the husk falls.
That's what happens when you hurt bear.
Blast through it. Blood everywhere, fragments of its bones everywhere. Like its body, like you hit it with an arrow that pierced through its head, but its body still moves like 5 feet back, just with how hard it was hit. Yeah, that was your first action. So you've got one action left because you did hunt prey. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna look over to this person. Yes, that's within range, and I'm going to draw and strike. I'll have MAP -5, the second one, right? Okay. Nice.
Whoa, just hit.
All right.
Oh shit.
Do 4 damage.
All right. Oops, no, that take that to you for some reason. Let me get that back. But that was 4 HP. He literally had 4 HP left.
Nice.
Take it down.
Quiver blows the dude's head off. Quiver shoots the guy again in the head. There's not such an explosive reaction here, but the undead falls.
Belric in the kill count real quick.
You see two of one of the fathomless, one of the husk fall to the ground. Mockery, you are up. What do you do?
Mockery will yell out, "Death, despair, and devotion!" Before running in between these two. A disadvantageous position, but one where he knows it will draw the eye, more likely draw the ire of these two away from his allies.
Okay.
And he is going to focus first on this fathomless here. Let me see target. And he's gonna start swinging with this with his great sword of the Black Tusks, infused with Nar's holy might.
Nice.
I'm going to use my hero point.
There you go.
Yeah, it literally can get worse. So.
Oh my god!
Happens.
So you see him dodge the first strike, but you still have a 1 hour action.
Go again.
There you go.
Nice hit.
Let's roll that damage.
Solid, yeah. The guy with the might of Nar behind you, you cleave into him. This guy is rough. He's barely clinging to life. A strong breeze could take this guy down right now.
You mean like that sandstorm that's going on?
Fortunately, you guys are blocked from the with the tents around. But yeah, if he went out in the sandstorm, he would be. But yeah, he is barely clinging on there. That's you. Somebody else roll me a d20. First one for the girl civilian went well. This is for the kobold. See how he's doing. As he's gasping for breath, bleeding into the sand.
I'll throw it down.
Solid. He's gasping for breath, but you do see him get some steady, strong breaths, and he is still clinging to life. You see Velnu go, "Good, my friends, I'm glad you are here. I need protection. I will pay. Kill these things." And you see he runs behind the tent.
Actually, before he does that, could Mockery scream out something to him?
Sure.
Prove your worth! Heal the civilians! And if we can, could he roll an intimidation with it?
You could definitely intimidate him, yeah. Give me demoralize. Or give me actually no. Unfortunately, yeah. Now your turn, unfortunately, so you can't do that. But you do kind of yell it out at him, and you kind of see he looks out and goes, "I don't know how to heal. Never found a profit in it." And he kind of goes behind.
That is absolutely a fucking lie. That's absolutely a lie.
Round 2, that guy is dead. The husk is up. You see It is going to focus on Mockery with you in between it and its balls. You see them coordinating their strikes. You see the husk goes low as the other guy goes high, and they strike out at you. So strike one.
Okay, that's going to be the Iron Command reaction.
All right. They are going to resist, so they're not going prone. So give you some damage.
All right. So with this, Mockery will yell out. Shit, I had something for this, but I immediately forgot. I have to write these down. I'll just roll the damage for that. And of course, this will be persistent damage.
All right.
Like, why does it always mess up? This is 2 persistent, and then it is mental. There we go. Roll d6. 2.
Nice. You see kind of blood trailing out of its nostril, this deep, inky black blood kind of falling down his face as the command hits him and he strives to fight through it. He cuts into you for 3 on his first hit. He's going to try to grab you with his next action.
All right.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I didn't roll the athletics. Let me roll the athletics. We are using the remaster rules for this, where before you could just be grabbed if they hit using an action. Now they roll an athletics check, which sounds better, but if they crit, they can restrain you. So always thing to be aware of. But this one does not restrain you, but it does grab you. So you see it like slashes at you, cuts into you. Its claws grab into your chainmail, holding you close. And as you see that, you see its eyes begin to not glow, but the deep black of its eyes seem to darken, and you start to feel your life force being drained. You see it looks a little bit stronger, almost like that anguish you put it through with your Iron Command seems to fade. You see it stand stronger as it drains some of your own life force and it kind of replenishes itself.
What does drained one do?
Oh, I didn't put the thing in there. So drained one, I'll throw that in for you, but it brings your Constitution scores and saves down by 1.
Oh, damn.
Which also means your max HP goes down by your level.
Mhm.
Right now it's 1.
Oh,
Shoot,
that
that
could be rough later. Yeah.
Sweet. So
I will say though, I'm glad our resident cleric of Noir did not get hit by that.
yeah. So Civilian 1, she passed her first save. Who wants to roll another save for her?
I keep rolling for
All right. Sweet. Fortunately, this one she does look a little paler, a little more hampered. You see more blood flow out. Breathing gets a little bit of ragged. So 1 success, 1 failure. This is up. It's got Mockery between its grasp. It looks extremely messed up from Mockery's Inferno Blade of Nar, but it is still fighting. It is still trying to keep itself, keep its mission alive. Mockery, it looks at you, and you see it just wickedly slash out.
Nice.
A miss.
Misses. You see it slash again, just blood, ichor black blood flowing from its wounds. But yeah, it can't land a hit on you. Like it is trying, it is like doing its best to hit you. You see it just yell out in anguish and goes for the 3rd blow. Once again,
It's not hit him once.
You've got to feel the protection of Makesh, the fertile gods around you, as this being can't lay a finger upon you. Ateria, you are up.
All right. Now that the combat's begun in earnest, I want to get a sense of who my foes are, and I'm gonna stare down this fathomless and try to recall knowledge, see if I can figure out really what sort of creature this is.
Perfect. Yeah, so fortunately, unfortunately you won't get off guard with this. Did you take dubious knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. So this is an undead creature. It looks drained. Holy damage probably would hurt it pretty hard if you guys have anything that can cast or deal holy damage. But you also think that these guys have pretty slow reflexes. Like they're not the fastest on the draw.
We must not have been paying attention during that first round of combat with their high initiative, but hopefully now we can turn things around with their slowness. All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and shoot them. Not off guard, so just a normal strike.
Unfortunately, you see it bleeding, but still dodges aside as the crossbow flies overhead.
That's too fast.
You're not supposed to be that fast. I'll reload, and that's my turn.
All right. You are up.
Okay, so trying to trip the husk will not break the grapple, right? Probably. It's still adjacent. It can probably just hang on to him.
Trip won't break it, but if you did push it away, that would break it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Let's try this. I will attempt to grapple the husk.
All right.
Are you being grappled?
No,
Okay.
the husk is grappling Mockery.
Oh,
I'm trying to grapple the husk.
A double grapple. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you grapple the husk, does that break the grapple on Mockery, or are we
No,
building like a tower?
We're building a tower. It'll give other people it'll make him off guard to everyone else, so it'll make it easier for other people to try and hit him.
It's amazing.
So let's see, basic action macros maybe.
I believe in you.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so he is grappled, which is already good. Now here comes the really tricky part because this is going to be with map. Now I'm going to try and attempt to reposition him over here.
All right.
Let's see.
Get him.
Did they put it reposition?
He's so strong.
Should be in there.
Oh yeah, they actually did it. Come on. Yes!
Solid.
Hey.
Nice.
And then final action raise shield, of course. So the husk will move over here, breaking its grapple on Mockery. And that is exactly what I built you to do. That's for sure.
What does that look like as Jeep pulls this guy right off Mockery?
There is no magic in it. You can let's see who's nearby. Will, you can hear his chainmail armor squeak because of his muscles are just bulging. By trying to grab him and just strain and drag him off. This is pure just Jeep as a himbo jock.
Incredible. I love it.
Will, you are up. Just 1 second, though. I'll be right back.
All right.
This guy right here, I feel like could be an easy target. If you got something light you need to do.
He can't move quickly, so I'm sure you can.
I'm probably about to destroy this husk. That's my plan. But we'll see if he rolls.
Yeah, he mentioned the husks have around 7 health. And if my math is correct, the Fathomless has 1 hit point left.
Oh, I failed on the reposition. I need to tell him. I forgot to hit the -5 map.
Ooh.
Let's see, 12. Hero point won't really help, but it's fine. It should be okay.
Hey, Tegan, in the future. He's already back. Never mind.
Hey, I messed up. I didn't apply the -5 map to the reposition.
Oh, you didn't?
So with a 15, he might have succeeded.
Oh,
Versus his fortitude DC, I think.
Seriously. 15. DC 15.
Oh, you still got him.
Yes. Okay. So it does move.
Nice.
Hit of your teeth.
Nara's
Got it.
kind today.
Because yeah, sweet. Yeah, Will, you're up.
All right. Will is gonna like sort of double over for a moment and just sort of like hold on to his head, and then he says, "All right, hold on," and then he's suddenly like. It almost looks like a golden explosion radiates around from the top of Will's head. Just golden light shoots out in like a circle all around him, and he begins like floating like a couple of inches off the ground, and a halo appears above his head. I'm using Unleash Psyche.
Nice.
So that means all my spells are better, basically. So I am going to cast Daze on this same husk, and this time, hopefully, it will work. It's going to be a will save.
Roll a 20. But luckily, this isn't a crit success. So it's still, does it half damage on this one?
Hold on. Da-ba-da-da.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure.
The term basic is code for like half damage on success, no damage on success,
got it.
full damage on like fail, and double damage on.
Sweet.
Gotcha. Okay,
Damage.
then. So, go.
Nice.
Pretty good damage.
Yeah.
You see that golden light surround him, buffet into him. He's looking pretty bloodied now, as it kind of burned through some of that vigor that he stole from Mockery.
Remember,
right.
he did take that 2 mental damage from before.
He did. He stole some of your HP too with the drain, so he's looking pretty rough.
All right. And then so with my last action, all of you are going to hear a voice that you've never heard come from Will before. It's Will's mouth is moving, but then when he speaks, what comes out is, "If you stand with us, then you cannot fall." And suddenly, Mockery, you just feel confidence surge through you, and you are going to be healed for 4 hit points. As I am using my Restore the Mind.
Nice.
Oh, it didn't have the... dang it. I thought it would say Mockery there. Mockery just kind of goes, "Shinzo, smile, what is that?"
And if you do, if you can switch your name in Foundry to show your character name too, if you want to.
I don't know how to do it.
I'll show you later. But Belric, you.
Okay. Belric is going to cast Hunted Prey on the husk.
Okay.
And then Belric shall fire his short bow at the husk.
Oh, that gets rid of the drains that Mockery got. That's healing.
Nice. Oh yeah, sweet. Drop that off. And another crit.
Let's go, dude.
He can't be stopped.
Can't be stopped. Oh, yikes.
You didn't need much. This guy had 3 HP, so put him down.
Headshot. Boom.
This one doesn't
Another
go
one of
so
those.
far, but you still drop him to the ground.
Yeah. And then I'm just gonna target the Fathomless, and I'm going to shoot another arrow.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
This guy had 1 HP left.
Headshot! Alright.
He's too powerful.
Yikes.
Sweet. Belric just lucid arrows, keeping his bear close by him. Did you finish every one of them?
He did.
Yep.
She was
Yeah.
more before. They'll look back and Balric will kind of let out like a burp from all the stouts that he drank at the bar. And be like,
Hey, we topped some of them up for you.
cool. Yeah, exactly. He would nod at everyone and give him a cheers emotion. So
You see the scene around you, the tusk, the fathomless lay dead after your onslaught. You do see the civilian, both the kobold and the woman are still trying desperately to survive. You guys are out of initiative order. What do you all want to do?
For the first few seconds after the fight is over, Will just continues like floating and having like a halo above his head, and just like says, "Foul creatures, they have been destroyed." And then Will sort of like tumbles back to the ground, like holding his head and looking definitely worse for wear, as I am temporarily stupefied.
Okay.
Mockery is going to kind of start marching forth to that to the guy we work for. Let me. I wrote down his name. Let me check what his name is.
Velnu.
Velnu. Yeah, and he'll kind of shrug his shoulders and like flourish his blade. He is still very much in fight mode as he's marching towards him.
As you start heading that way, Wisteria will say, I don't care what you do with him, just make sure we get paid.
We need to heal this broad too.
Yeah, Jeep will try to do battle medicine on these guys.
All right. Give you some medicine rolls. While he's doing that, Mockery, what do you say?
As he's coming in, he looks like Mockery looks like he is ready to take someone's head, and he'll get a bit closer than what would be comfortable and put a finger right on his chest as he will say to Velnu. There's a lesson from Rog the Butcher. There is a difference between a coward and a brave man. It is not the fact that they fear. It is, and he'll catch himself. The difference is not that one feels fear and the other does not. The difference is how they react to the fear. A brave man faces it, and a coward lets it control him. You ran! And if you ran from this, you have ran. You run from opportunity, from profit. I invested. I would like to make sure that investment is a sound decision. You cannot make money from corpses. You cannot sell weapons to the grave. You hold a holy symbol. I do not believe you when you say you cannot heal. I know you have medicine. There is profit. And he'll slowly begin to calm down. But he'll still be showing his teeth.
Give me an intimidation check.
Yeah. And to go back over it, Mockery has expertise in intimidation from his martial dedication.
Solid.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you deserved that, bud.
You see, but he goes like, this guy has refinement and kind of like we had a cool exterior last time. This time he's like, no. Well, they came. They cut me. I had to run. It's fine. It's an opportunity, profit, investment. I'll return your investment. Okay.
He pushes the money back to him. No, I invested in you. I want it to be a sound investment. Do not try and give me my money back. Do not insult me. I am a follower of Makesh. Despair is a part of it. Rise above it. Seek more. Do not fall to it. Do not be a coward. You have invested into this camp. You will protect this camp. You will protect your investments.
Yeah, yes. I'll protect him. I'll protect him. You gotta put this gold back. Um, did you guys bring the weapons?
Yes.
You
Okay.
You have to ask that. Oh, you're so unconfident.
No. But I think I said 10 gold earlier. I misspoke. 20 gold? Yeah. 20 gold. But yeah, I kept the 2 you gave me though. Those are invested as I'm protecting the community.
I'll bring you more. You clearly need it.
And
He
he'll come
looks
down.
extremely scared and confused.
I look forward to seeing what you can do with this encampment. Don't disappoint me.
Okay. And yeah, he pays off. He gives you guys 20 gold to split amongst the crew. And then with that too, unfortunately, the Kobold civilian is struggling. Ajit's efforts are not really coming through for it. Somebody else roll me a D20. And can anybody else? Because right now this Kobold's immune to Jeet's efforts. Does anybody else have battle medicine? Or Jeet, are you spinning?
I can.
spell?
I'll do the spell. I'll do a 1 action heal, like run up, try the things, and then my tools are all in a disarray from the sand, so I'll just touch him and then cauterize him. So just 1d8 healing.
And if you wanted to, because you're out of combat, you could 3 action and just save yourself a roll for the girl.
Yes. Okay. In that case, yes. I'll just move over here, and then 3 action. Hopefully, none of these husks come back. But yeah, just the civilian and the kobold.
The huts stay down, but the fires wash over them, cauterizing their wounds, and you see both kind of gasp. The kobold spits up blood, but lifts his head. The woman kind of shakily stands to her feet as they've been healed by the fires of Nar. And as they're doing this, you see kind of coming through this like a gap in the tents, kind of through the sandy maelstrom of storm. You see a woman run up, and she kind of dark skin, kind of kind eyes, and the eyes look familiar. They kind of remind you of Olga a bit. As she runs up, you see tears streaming down her face as she yells, "They took him! They took my baby!"
No. Where?
Because she points to the sands and falls to the ground. She kind of points to the northern distance. That way. I tried, but I couldn't help.
Were there any more of these things?
You see her kind of point towards like some of the fallen bodies that still have heads, and goes, "They look like them. I don't know. They grabbed him. They grabbed a few others, and they took off into the sands."
Yeah, I was just going to do a dramatic thing. We're going after them. Belric, I need you up here to do the tracking. Mockery, business later. We have to leave now. Arbiter, no.
All right.
Gavel, we have to assemble.
Oh, sorry. Gavel assemble. Mockery will look back to Valnu, take his poke him one more time in the chest while looking at him.
As soon as the sands clear, I am mercenaries. The gods will not help you. With this place under order, we'll be back with the boy and the stolen people.
Okay. I can do that.
And he'll know.
While Mockery was talking to Velnu and G was healing people, Wisteria, right after combat ended, would have run up to one of the fathomless corpses and try to just see if she can figure out anything more about it. Maybe recall knowledge if you want, but I definitely want to start pursuing a lead here. So spend 1 minute examining the corpse to do that. Because I want to find out like what these creatures are, why they're here, what their objectives are. And you said they seemed intelligent, so definitely interested in that.
You can definitely find out what they are. From the corpse, you probably won't find out why they're here or their objectives.
Sure.
So,
Yeah. So that's just my overall investigation that I'm
Yeah.
describing, that I'm starting now.
Definitely give me your choice of medicine or occultism as you look at these corpses.
All right. 20.
Yeah, looking at these creatures, definitely kind of foul magic was used to bring these things into being. You can definitely tell that they used to be just typical people, typical Kazians, but it looks like their souls were kind of drained off, but not severed. Like something like stole the soul but left the life behind. And these beings kind of hunger. You can see like there's a little bit of a hunger within them, and kind of retain some of their skills, their intelligence that they may have possessed in their life.
Disgusting.
All right. Yeah, I am eager to find out more about them and see what I can do with this investigation.
All right. Will is definitely going to assure the woman that we are going to return her loved ones to her. And then we have to go. I would love to take a moment to refocus, but we have time-sensitive things going on.
So yeah, are you guys heading right off, or are you taking that 10 minutes to refocus, or what are you all doing?
We're going.
We gotta go. I got spell slot. I said spell slot is correct. I did not misspeak. I have one spell slot.
There. Well, you guys head out into the sands, chasing after these mysterious creatures, trying to hunt and bring them back poor Olga. And that's where we're going to end today's session. We'll come back next session with the hunt for Olga, and hopefully you guys will be able to bring back the poor child. But that's where we'll wrap up today. For everybody that's watching, thank you guys for checking out the first session. Check out session 0 if you haven't. But I think each Sunday I'm going to be posting these. So each Sunday, keep an eye out for it as we get into a new session of Pandemonium, a Pathfinder 2E campaign. But thanks for hanging out, everybody, and until next time.